Halito, can anyone hear me? Let me know, can you hear me? I've been having technical difficulties. Let me know, can you hear me? We're going to try this again. Halito, everyone. And I want everybody, those are moderators who are in my chat, please, as usual, control the chat. Okay. Please control the chat. Okay. Because I always seem to get people that come in and you just never know. Okay. So I want people to always everybody be responsible. Remember that my content is a indigenous perspective, is a Aborigine indigenous perspective. For those who don't agree, that's your problem. For those who don't agree, that's your problem. Okay. So you chose Grand Rising to you, and you chose to try this channel early in the morning, and I respect you guys for that. Okay. This morning, a topic came up to me, and every now and then, I every now and then I do a topic where I talk about what's going on in the conscious community. Okay. So I'm the type of person that everything in my content is not for everybody. Well, remember that everything that I state is not for everybody. Okay, it's for my tribes. It's for my tribes. So we're not. I'm not a controversial channel. I am a diverse channel. I am not a controversial channel. Okay. So if you're gonna go back and forth with me, this ain't the channel with you. The channel that you need to be on, because I done had guys say that they don't respect what we do over here. Okay, but that's your problem. So now let's get to it. We have there are reports about they got this guy, this young white melanated, white boy, white pale face, who allegedly beat and choked a melanated female. Now, today, what we're talking about is we got on both sides. We have melanated females who think that the grass is greener on the other side. They think that the grass is greener on the other side. Okay, so they chose to go out and test the waters. That whatever right they have, they chose to go out and test the waters. Now, what we have is then when things don't end up right, then they like to cry and become a victim, basically hollering about oh, he's beating me, he's trying to beat me now. But I want you guys to understand that there's no female deserve to be choked. There's not a female on this planet deserve to be beaten. I want you guys to understand that. There's not a female, no matter what the female has done, deserves to be beaten. Give me 1 second, my brother. There's not a female that deserves, in my opinion, deserves to be beaten like the female that I saw that was beaten. Okay, now she supposedly has a past. Well, she's supposedly opportunist who have a past with trying to get with celebrities. Okay, but what we want to talk about is, when Ray Rice, the football player, the former Baltimore Raven, And they had a situation where the former Baltimore Raven knocked out a melanated female. CNN and all the big networks were showing it. They were on it very fast. And now we have an instance, we have a situation now where we have a paleface who basically, beat the hell out of his melanated female. And we don't see that all over the news as when we saw Ray Rice. So what I'm trying to understand is why there's no attention going in on this matter. Like I told you, regardless of the situation, if the woman is a whore, whatever her background is, I'm not concerned with that. What I'm concerned is when melanated females get abused, why they are not making a big deal like they would a pale face female. This is what we're trying to find out. Because like I said, I don't see it all over other than YouTube, other than Instagram. Nobody's talking about it on Fox News. Nobody's talking about it on the big networks. But it's when a melanated brother, if it was a melanated brother who hit a pale skinned female, would they make a big deal? Would he be locked up immediately? Now they locked Chad Wheeler up, but when they locked him up, he was able to bond out. He had an easy bond. He was able to bond out. Where then you get a melanated person, they're not going to be able to just bond out like that. Okay, they actually put up the price where you can barely you basically don't have a chance under these constitutional laws. Okay. You said she was a Moor. She was a Moor. Thank you, VHS. Thank you. I didn't know she was a Moor. Okay, she identifies as a Moor. Okay, my brother, what you think about this indigenous warrior?
Well, we'll be that guy. Well, like you said earlier, no one deserved to get beat. The lady don't deserve to get beat like that, but she got what she got. You did, because that's what she get when she turned her back on us, thinking you was gonna go and get it better on that side, and you just jumped in a relationship with the white version of Ike Turner. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm mad that it happened to her, but you got what you got. You played to the game. You played to their you went to their prizes. You did. It is what it is at the end of the day, because it's like the first time it happened. It's not gonna be the last time it happened. We just talked about how the Proud Boys married their sisters and did what they did. So where we gonna go from here? Where do we
That's
go from
right.
here? They gonna
That's
still
right.
marry these dudes, still date them. So what's the problem? They want to
Yeah,
cry wolf when they get hands
how
put
much?
on them.
Yeah, how much should we feel sorry for this melanated sister? Because because they seem to think that going to the pale face that is better for them. It's how many why I want to know, why should we feel sorry for this sister? Because time and time they chose to go outside thinking that outside is better. They chose to go that, okay? They chose to go that route. Hey, Sorrel Cunningham, peace and blessings. I haven't seen Sorrel in a long time. Wow. But what I want to understand, and this is what we talk about all the time, is the lack of love for ourselves. The lack of love for ourselves. It's been ingrained in us to hate our own people. It's been ingrained in us to basically to hate our own people. It's been engraved for that for many years. We are taught to hate our melanated people, and this has been going on for many years. To the fact that they think that they can go outside and find something better. And I'm one that can sit here and tell you that I'm not going to sit back and feel sorry for somebody who should have known better. I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for a melanated female who should know better, who should know better about the system, who should know that that they only using you for a certain. He tried to make her bow down, indigenous warrior. He tried to make her bow down in submission. He tried to make her bow down in submission. And you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. Paleface wanted her to bow down, but she does not deserve to be beaten. She does not deserve to be beaten. I don't give a damn what she done. I don't care what kind of whore she is. See, we get too far on, well, she is a whore and she's an opportunist and she has a long line of getting with celebrities, so she deserved to get her ass whipped. No, it don't go like that. The bottom line, that's why I said, where's the outcry? We don't have the outcry if this was a melanated man who was beaten on a Caucasian female. You don't get that same intensity, the same outcry. Because when OJ, and I want to go right back into Forever Freeman, the OJ case. OJ case was 24/7 on live TV. When you do something to their people, you can best believe that they will be ready to lynch you, that they are prepared to lynch you. But you think that you on the same level, the same playing field as your oppressor. You believe that you on the same level. You get a little education. You get to go to one of these big time schools, and your brother or a sister who come from poverty, and you go to a Ivy League school, and you start seeing women that does not look like your women, and you try to start testing the waters, and you start feeling so good about testing the waters because you feel like you're on a level with them. Now you aid when you was in high school, when you come up, whether you come up from Alabama, whether you come up from Louisiana, whether you come up from Texas, it was a no-go to touch the white woman. It was a no-go. But you get in college and you feel like it's free for you to touch the white woman now, and you want something that you really never was able to touch because you have so much self-hatred for yourself. It's crazy.
Now, don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying. No one needs to get beat, but she put herself in that predicament, and that just don't go for her. That go for all the women who date these Caucasian males. It don't just go for her, because it's like the first time I brought something like this to your attention. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a chain of reaction. But the thing is, it goes to the women. When are y'all gonna stop turning? See, a lot of women go over there and thinking, oh, he got good credit, he gonna take care of me. Oh, I ain't got to worry about this, that, and the other when I'm with him. Then you do. You thinking just because you going to the other side is gonna be better. You get the same thing. He's a man just like we are, made just different shades. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I read in the report, when the police came to the house, they bust the door down, which I should say, they breached the door, heard him hollering from the restroom, and the girl was in the chair with her nose and stuff bust up, and he hollering, bow to me, bow to me. So this ain't the first time this happened. This is the first time we found out about it. And this ain't the first time this kind of situation occurred. This is an ongoing thing. It's just the women, the melanated women, going with the men that's a ball players or regular guys for beneficial reasons only. Because when you realize these
I want to
guys,
read that by brother. I want to read this by Sherelle. I apologize But as a melanated woman, she should have known better. I'm pretty sure she has experienced racism within her life, her lifetime. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what's wrong with these sisters. I don't get it. And it's a lot of self-hatred. And it's the same thing with melanated black men. It ain't just the women. It ain't just the women. Melanated black men got a taste for that white cream pie.
Yeah, it go
I'm
both
telling you,
ways. Yeah, it go
it
both
goes
ways. Because guess
both
what?
ways.
The same way.
Chief Son Hour.
Yeah, good evening. Good morning, Chief Son. Now, but at the same time,
Little
though,
plum in the
brother,
house.
it go both ways. The same way it goes with the where he jumped on the sister. The white women be jumping on the melanated brother, and they lock him up too. So it go both ways in different ways. But at the same time, though, I blame both parties. Nobody, I'm giving both parties the blame. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna just be one side. No, we have to realize them people is not for us.
How we gonna build tribes, man, when we keep on mixing the race like we do? How we gonna
Hey, man,
build a tribe?
I never understood how you come from a melanated woman, you birth from a melanated
But they
woman,
hate them.
and you turn your back on her and you go and date them, the same people who annihilated your ancestors. Like like your bailed out, your light bulb ain't going on. Like what's going on?
Forever Freedom said in Africa, Caribbeans, they know if they mess up, plus, 3 kids, life would be hard. Yeah, and it said, cheapest Son Hour said, power to the God, power to Sherelle. Grand Rising Cherokee, and Drizzle Game said the difference is we get laughed at. I mean, we get laughed at when a white woman do this, do us dirty. Black woman gets sympathy, and that's a sad part. That is a sad, true, but sad statement because it's sad. It's sad, and it's excellent. It's absolutely true because we glorify and we show a lot of sympathy when our females get trampled on. But we don't ask them, why the hell did you chose that life? Why did you chose that life? What made you step off into that realm? You know, we got like I said, we got melanated,
You know what happened though?
melanated
You know
men
what is going? You know what
who
happened?
can't even stand their mother.
This ain't the first time. Let me tell you something, bro. This ain't the first time he put hands on her. He put hands on her before. He brought her gifts and said, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna never do that again." And she thinking after the first time he done brought her gifts and apologized, it ain't gonna happen again. And this happened this time. This is why I just told you. This been going on. You see
I
what I'm
never
saying? And then
understood.
plus, and another thing, we don't know the real truth. What happened? We not gonna never know the truth. We only going off of what we heard and read in the reports.
Well,
Nobody
my
know
brother,
what
that's
really
not
happened
enough
with him and her.
reports. There's not enough reports out there because this has something to do with a melanated woman. I'm telling you, if this was a melanated brother, and it was turned around
They're
that he was with a Caucasian sister,
they're crucifying him in the news.
they would have crucified him.
But you gotta look at who we talking about. A Super Bowl champion, a white Super Bowl champion. You know doggone well the news gonna try to cover that up much as possible. We don't get the same treatment. Look at the wordplay that they use when they're describing stuff like this, when they're dealing with a white person, and then they're dealing with, look how they annihilated Ray Rice in the news media. And look how they tiptoeing around him. The only thing good came about this is the Seattle Seahawks fired him and put him off the team. That's the only good thing about it. He went to jail for it. Whoop de do. He buying down the $400,000.
That's not enough. They love. How many times that they played a video of Ray Rice knocking that female out? How many times that they played Ray Rice? How many times that they played a video of Ray Rice knocking that female out? How many times?
He ain't just knock her out. He drug her.
And he's blackballed in the NFL to this day. How many times? Well, when Chris Brown.
No. Go back to remember the kicker who beat his wife What they did with
Yeah,
him? They gave
there
him a
was a
new
kick.
contract.
There was a kick in the NFL that allegedly, well, not allegedly, he actually beat the hell out of his wife, and he
And
was
went signed
able.
a
He
new
had got a new
contract.
contract in the NFL after the trial. And I think about Ben Rosenberg, the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, who allegedly raped a female, and he's playing right now to this day in the
Paid
NFL.
the case off. So he settled the case outside the court. Paid the case off. When you pay a case off, you admitting your guilt. And
That's right.
and got suspended. He only got suspended for what, 6 games, and was able to come back. He's still throwing the football till today. You see the double standard they have for melanated and white people. And
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand how
All abuse,
melanated
my
men and
brother.
women.
I don't care. I don't care if it's white, green, or brown. All abuse, in my opinion, is I'm against all abuse. I'm against
True.
all abuse. I don't like to see any female being beaten. That's just not what I stand for.
But
But
wait, but
what
wait, but
I
wait.
am going to say,
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The same empathy you put on the woman that's getting beat, why we don't get no empathy when the woman beat
that,
us?
but it should go. It should go because first of all, they look at melanated men as being masculine. They don't believe that melanated men have feelings. They don't believe that melanated men actually hurt. But we're designed as a man to be much stronger than a female. We are designed physically as a man, we are stronger than a female. So I'm not going to sit here and act like that we shouldn't raise hell on these females that are out here abusing men. A man can allow a woman to abuse. A man can allow a woman to abuse. A woman has no chance with a man, not with a real man. A woman physically, a woman physically has no chance with a man. Okay? Now a man can choose, he can be mentally abused. He can also be physically abused because he refused. Apparently, there's a lot of brothers that have been raised not to hit women. There's a lot of men raised not to hit women, so they got
Isn't that a
women that
double standard? What
they
you
got
trying to
women
say?
they got women that take advantage of a man who does not hit a woman, but a man can physically kill a woman with his hands. Okay, it just is what it is, brother. Your strength, with against a woman is just you're built. You're just built bigger. You're built different.
But
So
like I
that's
say
why
though,
women get more sympathy.
at the end of the day, the woman has power over the whole situation because she can say
Just
yeah or
like
nay and get the hell
Drizzy
up out of
said,
there.
I want to read this to Drizzy again. He said he can choose to be abused, but when he snapped, he can he's the bad guy. Yeah, he can choose. He can choose to be abused. That is a great point. He can choose because physically he cannot be dominated by a woman. Physically, okay. So I'm just letting you know that I don't agree on any abuse whatsoever. I don't agree whether it's a female or a male. Okay, go ahead, brother.
True. No, I was just saying, but it's kind of, but I'm just saying though, you see the double standard that they have for us, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm just part of the double standard because that was just what the game say. You know, a man can't choose, but he can get up and go too. The same way the woman can get up and go. We both parties have it in them where they can get up and say, "I don't want this no more. I'm out of here." They got some women. All it takes is one time for a man to put their hands on, and they out. They don't give a damn how much they love them. They gone. Because a woman and a man, you know what you want in your life. And if a person put their hands on the first time, that's your way of getting the hell up out of there and go. I don't care if you got a baby from or not. A baby don't keep nobody together anyway. You get up and you go because at the end of the day, you're going to sit there and become a human punching bag. And that's exactly what she became, a human punching bag. And that goes for everybody, man. That goes for everybody who's been abused in an abusive relationship. That goes for male and female. Get up and go. Do not sit there and take that, man, because you do not have to take that. And then the
You
fact
don't
that
have
you
to
sit there
take
and you
abuse.
getting
You
beat,
don't have to take abuse. That is something. That is a lack of love when you take abuse. A lot of people who don't love themselves
and
take
that goes to
abuse.
show you somebody was getting in his head and telling him, hey man, if your woman don't bow to you, she don't love you. Because ain't no man gonna be sitting there punching on no woman until she bow down to you. Think I've been with my woman 18 years. I never told her to bow to me. What kind of shit he on?
That's right. And
I've been with my
and
wife 18 years. I not one time told her, if you don't bow to me, I'm gonna knock your lights out. I never done no stuff like that. I don't get down like that. And coming from New Orleans, we don't even play them type of games, man.
that's right.
We don't even get down. We
And
don't even play them type of games. Them
but
kind
when
of
you
games right there. And I'm telling you right now, she must not have no brothers. Because if she had some brothers, he would have went to jail.
when you look at it, my brother, when you look at it, and I have stated this many times, when you look in yourself in the mirror and you see yourself, if you can't stop and look yourself in the mirror and love you first, and that goes with male and female, I want you to understand, once a person break you, it's gone. Whatever self-love that you have for yourself, if you can get in the mirror and say, you know what, I love myself. Look at myself. You can't love your spouse until you love you first. I don't care if it's a male, female. I don't care how it goes.
And
It's going to be you. You can't love
bro,
somebody until you love you first.
I'm not gonna lie, brother. That lady who the sister he beat on, she broken. She's broken because she probably thought he would never do that to her. I think she gonna take some time. She needs some time to heal because it's out in the streets, man. It's out here. Everybody know what's going on. He gonna be labeled as a woman beater in the public, and she gonna be labeled as the shit. I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to use, but she's going to be that woman to be getting sympathy from everybody. Now because she's like, oh, you ain't have to go through that. You ain't gotta, and you know what's gonna happen? The only person she's gonna be able to tell the truth to is her mother, and her mama's gonna ask her, "Was this the first time this happened?" And she gonna tell her the truth. I know for a fact, bro, this ain't the first time this happened.
I have seen, my brother, I've seen women jump into men face, act as tough, put their fingers in men face, scream, and when the man haul off and slap the woman, and then she becomes a baby. She becomes a baby. So she put herself in a man's, into the direction of being a man. But it gives him. I want people to understand. I don't care what a woman do you. It comes a time where you can step away and walk away. Unless she's getting a knife and she's trying to murder you or getting a gun, that is the only time that I would say that a man has a right to defend himself. If his life is in jeopardy. If a man's life is in jeopardy, whether it's a gun or a knife, then you slap the shit out of him. It is what it is.
But everybody has that,
Because
and
you
guess what?
literally, you
Hey, I'm
literally
not
don't have
condoning.
no choice.
I'm not
You literally
condoning
have
the
no
violence.
choice but your life.
I'm not
But
condoning the violence. But guess what,
yes, I
though?
don't condone it at all.
I don't condone it. But guess what, though? A real woman, she just drew blood from it. I'm
I
telling
know
you how the
most.
game was go. I'm telling you, I've just seen a lot of stuff in my day, and I'm telling you, man, a real woman, he just saw his own blood. He just saw his own blood. But the way she looked at, yeah, bro, you and her would have been going to the hospital that day.
But you
Promise
know
you
what?
that.
But she wanted to go to her master. She loved her master. She loved her master. Okay. See, it's hard for me to sympathize with her because she loves her master. She loved her Caucasian master, but she refused to bow. She probably bowed before. Listen. She probably bowed to that man before, and now all of a sudden now she doesn't. She probably bowed and probably refused to bow this time. Okay, when you got self love for yourself, self hatred, you go to your lower self.
I was
You
I'm
go
trying to
to
tell you,
your lower self.
man. I'm telling you, bro. It's more to the story. They not telling. Cause this ain't. What I'm saying. She did stuff because ain't no man gonna get that angry, that rage behind you not bowing to him.
God has said this. And I'm going to read this. Garden said this man is 6'7", 300 pounds. Something 300 and something pounds. Ain't no way she could have done anything. That's
She.
correct. And when he's mad and and he loses his mind, there's nobody gonna get in the way of that mass of a man. Okay?
Okay.
So I
She
want you to
must have.
understand.
Nah, I can't. I'm not taking that because let me tell you something, bro. My grandma threw hot grits on her husband when he went to sleep,
Well,
so I know
well,
it can be done.
well, your grandma husband loved her enough not to kill her. Okay?
But he beat her, and when she said it was enough. She said if she went in there,
That's
she
right.
got them grits together and she threw them on her. So don't tell me what a woman can't do.
Oh, they can do.
I'm not putting nothing past
They
no
can pick
woman.
up. They can pick up weapons. They can pick up something. They can get a knife, stab him. They could do
I'm telling
things
you,
to
when
hurt
you
him.
think it's
But
all peace and cream, you going to sleep.
we're talking about in a physical form. A physical form, my brother. There's nothing. There was nothing she could do to stop that man from jumping on her unless she had a gun,
But
unless she had
Dave,
a knife. It is what it is.
that's what I meant by he was supposed to see his blood. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I meant by he was supposed to see his own blood. Because if you punch him, man, let me tell you something. He could have punched her and killed her, bro. Think about 6'7", 300 pounds. He ain't going, and she's like what? She ever been of what? 150 pounds soaking wet with 2 bricks in her pocket? Come on, man. He got to go there and go to sleep. Vengeance should be mine.
Yeah, she's a little woman. Goddess Amora says she's a little woman. Okay, she's
Good.
a little
So with
woman.
that
We
being
can't.
said, oh, it's all good. Get you now. Get you now. Because I'm going to get me.
That's
Man,
right.
look, I've seen some. Man, look, I've seen some women do some. I don't underestimate no woman on the face of this earth. If they want you, they want you. Whether it's in the court or in the house. I'm telling you how to get. Man, look, she just ain't had the right person to school her and teach her the ropes. I'm telling you what man. Look, man. All right.
Copper Color TY said that's right. She was defenseless. Defenseless. Even though she may have had something to do with the situation, with the words he spoke. He spoke to he spoke to him regardless. The man should have walked away, no matter
That is a
how
fact. That is
pissed
a
off.
fact. I agree with
And
that
that's
part.
definitely correct. That's definitely correct. But he ain't no
I
man.
agree with that part. He should have left, went
But he ain't no
calm
man.
down, went
You
have
know,
a
he ain't no
beer
man. He
somewhere,
still think
and
he got
came back.
supremacy. He still think that he has supremacy over our melanated women. You gotta understand that he in that room, she has allowed this man to do that before. She had to. For it
That's
to
why I
get this
keep
far, she
saying.
had to
That's why I
allow
keep
him
saying we
to
don't know
get
the
this far.
whole story. We just going off. I'm
When you
just
sleeping
going off.
with
I'm not
your
gonna lie. I'm just
enemy,
going off of. I'm just
you
going
stay
off of what I
prepared.
read in the police report. I'm just going off what I read in the police report and his actions. And his action says this ain't the first time. And the police said, let me tell you something. It had to been going. It had to been. Let me tell you something. It had to been some furniture moving in there, bro. In order for the police to breach the door, they had to breach the door. And when they came in and announced themselves, they heard the yelling from the restroom. And they had to breach the restroom door, and they heard her in the chair hollering, and the police, and he was on her, and the police had to get him. It was some furniture moving in there, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This ain't the first time, and this ain't the first time this happened. And there's more to the story. Let me tell you something. It had to been that bad to where they booked him on a $400,000 bond. $400,000 to get out of jail. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's way more than what we know.
Yeah, but it would have been $1 million for a melanated person. It would have been $1 million to get or 4 million. I done seen bonds up to $4 million. First lady said I agree with that. I agree with that. If a woman wants to get you, she does know how. I know my dad. My dad taught me how. He always taught me not to take that from any man. Not to mention he used to be a boxer. That is correct. Women are very dangerous at night. They can catch a man while he's sleeping. There are many ways for women to be able to be a force. Remember, these dummies eat from women. Okay, She can poison the shit out of you.
That's why I keep
There's a lot of
expressing.
things she can do.
That's why I keep expressing. Do not underestimate the woman. I don't give a damn who you is, man. You think she finna, you think you smelling greasy pepper, but she finna fry some fish. You finna be a fish. So it's just this woman up. You keep up.
Something wrong with
Man,
your
look.
mic, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying though, like you just can't just go around treating people any kind of way and putting your hands on people, bro. You have to treat people how you want to be treated at the end of the day, man.
Well, from an Aborigine standpoint, and this is what was the prompt me bringing this up, because I want people to understand that this is a indigenous based channel, and the reason why I brought this up because this was a self awareness. Okay, I want you guys to understand this was all about self awareness about choices with our melanated females and melanated men. We have to you. This is what happens when you have bad choices. Okay, when you get out of the tribe, this is what happens to you. Okay, so we want to. Everything is a teaching moment. I don't care what it is, how we gonna use it. You use these situations as a teaching moment. Yes, if she was with a melanated brother, it could have happened the same way. Yes, it could have happened the same way. So we're not just stating this because this situation happened to be with a Caucasian person. Okay, but I want you guys to understand that we have to build in our tribes. We are losing ground with bloodline. We are losing ground with bloodline. Every time we keep mating with these pale face, we are losing ground with the bloodline. And you have to understand that. I am not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just letting you guys understand when you keep breaking the bloodline, we will not, we're not going to exist no more.
And you know
And
what's
then
crazy though too,
we're wiping
brother? I
ourselves
blame
out and they're wiping themselves out. The bottom line is we got to do what we can to keep our vibes, to keep our tribes pure. We got to do what we got to do.
that's what I be
We got
saying.
enough mixing in ourselves. Go ahead,
And that's
brother.
what I be that's what I be saying too, brother. See, whoever raised her didn't raise her, and when they raised her, they didn't tell her to stay away from them people.
Nah,
They don't mean you
nah,
no
that's
good.
not true. That is not true. I know parents who teach they children about mixing with race. They still end up. You can't tell. Look, when you were young, nobody could tell you nothing. Nobody can
True,
tell you
but
nothing. You can't.
I can stand on
There's nothing
all
your,
ten of my
your
toes. I can
daughter
stand
can
and
end up with a
tell
pale
you.
face. No matter how much you raise them, your daughter can end up with a pale face, my brother.
But let
No
me tell
matter
you
how
something though.
much
I
you
already
raise.
instilled in my daughter. I told you this before I told you this
I
on the
don't
side
care what
note.
you instill with your daughter, my brother. Them children that listen, children, I don't care what you plant the seed, they will always come back. That does not mean that they're not going to test the waters and do some shit that you didn't want them to do. I don't care what you
Again,
instill in your children. They're
mine's no
always going to
them is
do
off
what they
limits.
want to do.
Mine's no theirs off limits.
Oh, that's
Them people,
oh, come on.
I
Come
already
on,
told
man.
her.
They got many melanated people who have been strict, and the fact is they have pushed their children into going into interracial because they were so hard and heavy. Don't bring no pale face to my house. They'll go behind your back, and they will do that. Don't ever say what your children ain't gonna do. It don't
Mine's ain't
matter how
bringing
many
none.
great
Mine's
teachers.
already know how. Mine's already know how I
Yours
feel
don't
about the
already know
situation.
nothing. How old is your daughter?
My oldest one is
How old is your
21.
daughter?
She's dating a man and brother. And my second daughter, she's 14, and she didn't even
So that
you
son,
already
she
know how
still.
I feel
But,
about that.
but listen, but that doesn't mean that they can change. That does not mean. That does
Now they
not
don't
mean
tell
that.
that.
Lady Solo would tell you. Lady Solo would tell you that she raised every last one of her children to abide by her roots, and she did it to the best of her ability. And she will tell you that they do what the hell they want to do. And that's a fact. You didn't do everything that your mother wanted you to do. You don't do everything that your father wanted you to do.
But
That that that
mine, long
that
as mine
that's a total
understanding, mine
equation.
know, long as mine know and mine understand that white people are off limits, I'm done with that. And a closed case, man. You preach to the choir.
You can be done with it all you want. But when a person does things and they end up this is one of the reasons why you plant seeds,
Exactly,
because if
Chief.
they do test the
Exactly,
water, they
exactly,
will
Chief
come back.
Sundown. The television is pushing mixed race agenda. And I've been told that's not even cool right there. Every time I
That is
see it, I blur,
correct.
I mention it. Every time I see it, I speak on it. That ain't cool. How
Yeah,
can
I
you
know. I
have a
already
how can
know.
you have a tribe? How can you have a tribe? How can you mention how
Segregation,
can you have a tribe and your tribe is mixed?
segregation. It's more than TV. We were better off by ourselves. We were better off with segregation. We were better off not mixing. It is what it is. We were better off in that system. We were better off not going to school with them. We were better off.
Well, that's what they want. They wanted integration. So we
But
got integration.
that's all them kumbaya. That's all them kumbaya wanting to be like them. We wanted to go to school with them. We tried so hard wanting to be accepted. We tried so hard wanting to be accepted.
And
And that's the
they ain't
problem.
doing that, but they ain't doing that, but using the melanated woman for a baby. That's it. Cause they raise dying all day. They going, what they were using the melanated woman for to have a child with them to keep a bloodline going. That bloodline ain't pure.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we don't understand. How you gonna keep something? That was the worst thing that could have happened. That was the worst thing. If Martin Luther King could have done it all over again, I'm pretty much sure he wouldn't have brought his people through that. Because he was stating this at the end of his life. He said, I led my people to the gates of hell. I led my people to the gates of hell. Him not knowing what he was doing. Did our life, did our situation get better with segregation? Did our life and did we get better because we wanted to share water with these people? You wanted to drink out the same water fountain? Did the situation, did they stop beating your ass? Did they stop doing the thing? Did they stop mistreating your people because of segregation? We tried that route before. And where did that take us?
That's what I'm saying. Because like, at the end of the day, the more we procreate with them colonizers, as the more we gonna be going away. We're gonna be distinct in a minute. If we keep laying down with these colonizers, we ain't gonna have to be we ain't gonna be able to do nothing with them. That's why I keep trying to tell people. A prime example. Look at all the cowboys who all married to the white to the black sister. Majority of them got kids with them. Guess what's gonna happen? That's a mixed child there. They're gonna grow up and make some more mixed children. So where's the bloodline pure at? It's gonna keep going until they realize them people is not good for us. They has never been good for us.
We sitting up here, and I never thought about this thing. We talk about our situations right now. That's why I told you you're not just fighting a war by yourself. You're not just fighting that war for yourself. You fighting a war for your whole tribe, for the people that live in your household.
And that's the crazy part, Riddle Conference. That's the crazy sad part. She probably would date another Caucasoid. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. And I don't put it past. She really may go do it again.
Yeah, and like I say, she was taught so many times, love time in a house. She was taught so many times that, and I have stated this before. She was taught that melanated people are beneath her. Come on, think about who she was with. She was with Derek Jeter. She was with Derek Jeter,
And what color is Derek Jeter?
a baseball player,
I know that. I know he's a rich baseball player.
and a Caucasian one.
My partner exactly. Bing, ding, ding, ding. I paid Caucasian for 200, Alex. This ain't the same. This ain't the first. Oh, I keep telling you, this ain't the first time. So why should we feel sorry for her? This is her. This is
Let,
her.
let,
What
let,
they
let,
call
let
her
me tell you.
emotion.
Let me tell you. Love knows no color. I already know that love knows no color. Matter of fact, there was a story of
If
a
you
slave.
wouldn't be around the people, you wouldn't fall in love with them people.
Hold on 1 second. There was a story of a melanated couple in Alabama. Um, she was this lady. She ended up marrying this Caucasian man, and they tried for years to try to get rights
Oh,
for
Brian, brother.
their
Peace,
marriage,
Brian.
for their situation to be legalized, for their marriage to be legalized. They pretty much took their family through hell. Now I understand that love knows no color, but you got to understand when you jump that rope with that person, when you get into that, you got to understand what you're getting yourself into. So don't come back crying when you knew what it was going to do to you.
Now
Love, you.
you take your white Ike Turner, y'all going all off the road.
That's right. You don't when
You
you
take
put
your white
when you
Ike Turner,
fall
y'all go off the
when you
road.
fall down, because like I said, you do something to that Caucasian woman, you can't do the same things that you do with your melanated chief.
Let me
You
tell
do
you
something
something,
with
brother.
that
Let me
Caucasian
tell you
woman
something.
and watch you find yourself locked up.
Let me tell you something, brother.
It's not the
And
same.
I never told you this. You can ask my wife and everything. She'll tell you this. Hell, you can ask I'll put you on the phone with my father. He'll tell you this. My daddy went to jail 1984, May 13, 1984 in New Orleans. Okay, I wasn't born yet. I came a year later. When I was born, he was already in jail. He went to jail 20 years in Angola. He did 20 years flat in Angola prison. My daddy,
That's
he
right.
can't, so he laid up here and went to jail off of a false accusation, bro. He was with a white woman in a hotel in New Orleans. She lied and said he raped her, even though he already paid her money. She went to the front desk. They called 911. They locked him up for 20 years in Angola off for a lie. But like I say, I'm not gonna say it was a lie because I wasn't born yet. I'm going off of what he told me and what my mama told me. You see what I'm saying? Because I wasn't there. Don't nobody know the truth but him and her. But he did tell me that he did pay her, and she went to the front office and she lied to say he had raped her even after he paid her. But you gotta remember, in that time that she went to jail, it was not cool to be for melanated men to be with white women in that time period. And he did the 20 years. I ain't gonna lie, he did when he came home. I was 20 years old, making 21. So he did all of the 20 years in Angola prison. But I said to say this: his mistake right there that he made, I learned from that mistake because to this day, I never dated outside of my race. Never. And that's why I'm so adamant and strong on that because if she lied on him and cost him 20 years of his life, who else? And we see today, who else is doing this? Most melanated men go to jail off of a lie for dealing with those Caucasians, bro. And that's why I say we have to stop talking to them, stop dealing with them people, man. They don't mean us no good. Hell, they don't even mean themselves any good. They will stab their own friend in the back to get ahead. So what you think they'll do you?
Well, it brings me back, my brother, to Emmett Till. It brings me back to Emmett Till, and all these years, this lady's still living. This godforsaken woman is still living after lying about that young brother, whistling and at her and causing the young brother to be murdered. And I sit there and think about it. It's always you're never gonna learn until something happened to you. You're never gonna learn. I don't know what we get, and then you want to come. They want to come back to the conscious community. They want to come back to our community when they stuck in a rut. That's like
Exactly.
OJ.
And that's why I'm
OJ
saying,
OJ didn't have a damn thing to do with his people. He didn't have a damn thing. He didn't even mention that he even mentioned that he's not colored. He even mentioned that. And I want you guys to understand, soon as
don't forget him.
everything fell down on him, look,
The other
the
boy.
first people that had his back, the first people that had his back was his melanated people.
The other boy too. What his name is? Tiger Woods. Oh, I'm not black. What if you ain't black? What you? Oh, he say I'm not.
Well,
He
he
say
ain't
I'm not
black.
black at the time. But yeah, at the time though. But at the same time, but at that time when he said that, we were still, I'm like, how you ain't black? Let me know how you ain't. At that time, I
Well,
say, how you ain't black? But
first
crazy
of
though?
all, hold up
Just as
now,
he said,
hold up. That Asian persuasion ain't us, okay? That Asian persuasion ain't us. Okay, so we gonna just leave him out the
you whatever
conversation.
your
Okay,
daddy is, man.
I don't know who his dad is. I haven't seen his dad.
You're a dirty soul, bro.
This all I see is just because he got melanated color don't mean he up.
But
That don't
but no,
I don't know
no,
where
I
he's
said
from.
no. I was saying that to say this. Since you didn't want to be black, they treated you like you was black. So with that being said, they made you come out your pocket and pay all them women. You see what I'm saying? They gave you black people problems. You see what I'm saying? People have to understand, man, today, bro. They are going to, if you melanated, they're gonna try their best to throw the book at you in any situation. If you go in the courthouse, they're gonna throw the book at you. You see what I'm saying?
Um,
Just like,
give me 1 second.
go ahead.
We have 34 people in the chat. Could you please press the like button if you can? If you don't like it, you could press the dislike. Please help the algorithm keep going. Please hit the like button. Also share the video if you can. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no. I was just saying though, man. We have to understand, bro. We in this battle by ourselves. We have no allies when it comes to us. You see what I'm saying? And those, I heard somebody call them mutt. I heard somebody call them a mutt in the chat. I fell out laughing. But at the end of the day, though, those who married to those, that go for melanated men and women. If you married to the mutt, you can't. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? You can't come what we going or what we trying to do. You chose your side when you made a baby. You laid down with the oppressor. You chose your side right there. So this ain't this. Don't no. You stay over. This ain't for you over here, brother. Sister, this ain't for you.
Dad have been doing it for a very long time. And what I have told people, I said, look, you know, and this don't. Let me get down and tell you. You know what I'm saying? We can't just because of this story happened. Let's not act like we don't have melanated brothers and sisters that are melanated brothers out here that are actually abusing melanated sisters. I want people to understand that I don't just come every time I see the white man do something to us, and I just
Oh
start reporting on
no,
the
I'm
white
right
man.
with
Hold
you.
on, my brother. Hold
Wait.
on. Let
I
me
want to
finish.
my
Let me
piece on this
finish.
too when you done.
Hold on 1 second. I want people to understand that I don't make videos every time the white man do something to our people. I make videos on every situation, because if we destroying ourselves, it's no better if the white man. We know better than the white man. Okay, I want people to understand that. Because I remember when I used to be following the Hebrew Israelites, and I was watching the brothers. I ain't gonna never forget this. They were out there talking about all the stuff that these white devils are doing, and come to believe they had a whole sector of brothers that were beating their melanated sisters. They were beating, and one lady got killed in the group. I want people to understand that we got to call out everything. It doesn't matter if it's not in our tribe. It doesn't matter if it's in our tribe. We have to call out everything. Go ahead, bro.
No, I'm with you. Let me tell you something, brother. This goes. It's not just like you say. It's not just for melanated and a melanated sister and then a Caucasian guy. Now this go for black on black, melanated and on melanated too. because we have guys out there beating our women too, and they need help. They need help just as well as she did. So no, I'm not against any. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Nobody should be putting hands on nobody. If you got to beat them, you don't need them. Plain and
That's
simple.
right. That's right. Because now I think what people think is, they see us as an Aborigine people. They see us come on here like we a hate group. We're not a hate group. I want you guys to understand. This Aborigine channel is not a hate group. We here for our people. We didn't come for everybody. We here to get self-knowledge to the people that don't know who they are. We're trying to destroy the African theory that we all came from a boat. That's all we're here for. We're not here to create the violence. We're here to teach our lost tribes, the people that don't know who they are. Because, see, people get it twisted. We got brothers and sisters that just want to follow a hate group. And they just want to follow something just to say we all hate something. We don't hate them people. We don't. Our tribe, our people are spiritual people. We can't hate nobody. We are spiritual people, so we don't have it in us to hate. We just trying
No,
to acknowledge who we are.
and then hate is taught. You see what I'm
That's right.
saying? Hate is taught. You're not nobody born with hatred. You are taught that. It's in the household. You grow up hating people. As we can tell over time, as you can tell, people today, they hate us because of what their ancestors, their grandparents told them. You see what I'm saying? We
Yeah, they
ain't
get
done them
they
nothing.
get they get it twisted. We be on these channels and we're trying to teach our people. And then when other people see us, oh, they like the Hebrew Israelites. They're trying to paint us in with other with other people or hate groups, whatever. We're not in. We can care less about the Caucasian people. We can care less about the Asian people. We could care less about the African people. We could care less about anybody that is not here in America. We are
Fact.
the Aboriginal people of America, and we're teaching our our lost tribe. So people get it twisted.
And
Go
those
ahead,
people
brother.
who believe they still, let me tell you something. Through DNA, it's been proven that I want to say what it is, it been 98%.
98% were already here. 98% were already here.
98% of so-called African Americans are indigenous Americans, Aboriginal indigenous Americans to this land. So this land is called Turtle Island. So if 98% of us, it was all our ancestors was already here, that already eliminates the whole African kick right there.
Yeah, I think it's funny, my brother, is that the fact that people don't understand that this is a continent, not a country. That we see we limit ourselves to this little island, but Turtle Island is big. Turtle Island goes all the way from South America all the way up to Canada. We claiming it all. We ain't claiming just one sector. That's what people don't understand. They got it twisted.
Yep.
There was a question. There was a question by I think a goddess or more. Let me see what she said. She said, "Should we be?" Let me go. I'll read this. She said, would you be a Moor or an Aborigine?" No, we are Aborigine. We are Aborigine. A
And
Moor
if
is
you look up
connected to Africa.
Aborigine, if you look up the definition of
A
an
Moor is a
Aborigine,
descendant of Africa. We're not a descendant of Africa. We are the original people of this land. The Mongoloids who came here, these Mongoloids that came to Turtle Island, they came after us. They were originated from out of Siberian Asia. These people are not the original to this land. We are Aborigine. They found us. They called us savage. They called us savage tribe. We were already here. See, 98% were already here. That's why they don't want to let you know that you are the population of America. You are we have more of us that they don't calculate on census. That's why they call you so-called African American.
how
Go ahead,
many
brother.
times how many times the colonizers been are reclassified? How many times the Asians been reclassified? We the only Aboriginal people that's been reclassified over time. Why? Because they don't want you to know and want you to connect yourself to your true lineage. Only a lie has to keep being to be told. The truth never changes. And when you discover the truth, you know you can get rid of that lie. Right? What I mean is, when you go back and dissect, like you just say, 98% of us was already here. So if 98% of us was already here, how can we come from Africa then if we was already here?
Well, Chief Fleming said that melanated, but they also have melanated European. That is actually correct. We
Yeah,
have done.
the first
That's what people don't
Europeans was
understand. We
melanated.
trade. Yeah, the original people in Europe were melanated. You got to remember the Europeans, the original melanated Europeans went into the caves to help clean. Also we also went up there to help them, teach them how to clean themselves. They were in the Caucasus Mountains. The original Europeans is the reason why we in our difficulties here in America, because they are the sellouts. They the ones who sold out. You see, you got. That's why I keep telling you. Just because you got kin folks that has the same complexion of you, don't mean that y'all all skin folks are kin folks. Because there are some of them that are the reason why are part of us being reclassified. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I'm with you, brother. That's what I was saying though, you know, when you understand that, that's why I told my baby girl, I said, nah, we not Africans, period. You don't even look like an African. I'm gonna show you. I said, so I went and did. I went and got a picture of an African female and put it to her face and took a picture with her phone and showed her. You don't look nothing like this person. Nothing. Nothing about you look like this person at all. And that's why I had to break down and show her that you are American and you're Aboriginal. You're American. Your ancestor was here already. So that
Yeah.
notion about African American go away now.
Yeah, we've been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed as a nation. We've been brainwashed as a nation through the school systems. We have been brainwashed. We are the people with the X on the back. I love what Malcolm X did, because we are the people with the X on our back. Okay, we are the people with the X on our back. Okay, I want y'all to know, because we have been reclassified.
That is true, Chief
We are the
Desun
ones
out.
who
That is
looking
true,
out here.
sister.
We're the people that's running around still looking for answers, and the answer has already been here. You're looking for answers, but it's right in your face. You're looking for answers, but it's right in your face.
But
Lil
then
Plum said, Lil Plum said, I am being placed in a human a cellular body inserted on the plane. I am indigenous into the entire space. I play in until I leave this wasteful place. All right, my brother. Yes, we are. We also the original people of the world. Okay, we believe that we started here. We are the beginning people of the world. We believe that the real Garden of Eden was here. We don't believe that it was told. See, they told a lot of stories in reverse. You got to ask yourself, why don't Caucasian people want Africa? You got to ask yourself, why don't Caucasian people want Africa? You gotta ask yourself, why they want America so bad? Why every foreigner across the planet wants to be in America? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Because they
because
so busy
America,
trying to
America
they so
has
busy trying to get you out of here. Go ahead,
America
brother.
has this place has some of the richest stuff here, and everything grows here. You know what I'm saying? The soil, everything. This is. See, what they understand is our ancestors. That's true. Some people say our ancestors didn't eat meat and all that stuff and stuff like that. They lived off the land. See, and that's what people understand. They hate us because we the only people can live off the land, bro. You see what I'm saying? We're grateful for the land because we can grow our own food and stuff. We are adapting their way of living. And what I mean
That's
by
right.
adapting their way of living is because they the ones who slaughter animals, eat steaks, and all that stuff, and eat bad. We wasn't eating like what we eat today, man. We was eating pineapples, fruits, a little salad. No, the vegetables that kept us going. We didn't have mucus and all that stuff and all back then.
No, we didn't have none of that. We were very pure, or or pure in the way we ate. They didn't have the bacteria. They didn't have the injections in the food. Yes,
That
we did
diseases
slaughter.
and all that
Yes,
stuff
we
didn't
did
come
slaughter
until they
animals.
came.
A lot of our vegetarian Aborigine people don't understand that
You
a
say
lot
we
of
ate
our
bison.
tribes,
I would
a
love to
lot.
try
Hold on,
that
my
though.
brother. Let's not
I'm
talk
not
over each
gonna
other.
lie. I ain't gonna lie. I would love. You say we ate bison. I would love to try that though. I haven't tried it. I heard some good things about it though. I haven't tried that yet. I heard some good things about bison meat, but I haven't tried it yet though.
Yeah. What I was trying to say is, what we have to understand is that a lot of our vegan Aborigine people don't understand that we did hunt. Our Indians, we hunt meat. We did eat meat. For those who
But not
don't
like
eat
we
meat,
didn't
I
consume it.
respect that.
But we didn't
But
consume it
we
like
hunt.
like
We
like,
did
like
hunt.
we consuming it today though.
That's right. We did eat
Exactly.
meat.
We
It just
fish. Fish is not bad for you. I ain't never seen nobody. Fish is okay, but I'm talking about the way we do, like how America is today, slaughter animals. And, nah. We probably wouldn't go like you said. We went fishing to eat fish and shrimp, whatever you want to eat there. But like the animals, they didn't really do that.
no. We ate more vegetables than anything. We had growed a lot of crops. We did fish a lot, but time and time we did hunt meat. We did hunt meat. Okay. Matter of fact, I got books on it that I still read about. That yes, we were great hunters. Okay. So a lot of people don't want to understand that we did hunt meat. Okay. I don't blame people for going vegan in this day and time because the meat today has cancer. Okay. So I don't blame people for going vegan in this day and time. That's what I want you guys to understand it. So the reason why a
Yeah,
lot of
fruits.
tribes, a lot of
Because you got to
people
think
want,
about it. All the
yeah, we
fruits
got a
that we
lot of
have
fruits,
today.
a lot of fruits.
I'm saying, see, the people understand the fruits today. Well, the fruits, period, grow your own fruits. It helps your body to where you don't even have to catch the disease. They so-called they came with these diseases and stuff like that. The fruits can help your body live longer. Like people, they make jokes about us eating watermelon and stuff like that there. But we know watermelon is good, but who you see buying more watermelon than us?
The white man.
My partner, exactly.
Well, but they had a song we played. That was talking about nigga want a watermelon. Ha 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 ha. So they have made jokes about us, but yet they're the ones who eat the most watermelon. It's crazy, and we should be eating more watermelon, folks. We should be eating more watermelon. Okay, don't get it twisted. We should be eating more watermelon. That's what we. I don't care who make a joke about it. We should be eating more watermelon. Drop the link, my brother, in the chat one more time. I want to get Chief Sun Hour on the panel, and I want to get
All
the
right, no
original
problem.
copy on the
I'm
chat.
about to say there's too many people here to remember. All right, hold on, hold what you got. 1 second, bro.
Chief Sun Hour. I want you to come on, and I want original copper to come on. I would love for you guys to come on. We're gonna open up the panel, and I want you to talk about these food situation, Chief Sun Out. So I'm definitely want to open the panel so you can come on. We about to open up the panel, so I would love for you to spread some wisdom. For those who don't know, Chief Sun Hour is my mentor. She's one of my mentors. I talk, I very much look up to Chief Sun Hour. Very wise person. I look at her as a mentor. Oh, what's up, Dakulu? Dukulu, we also opening up the panel. We would love for you to come on, Dukulu. This is another young man who lives in nature. This is another young man who lives in nature. I would love for him to come on. And Cherokee, hit the you can also come on. We're gonna open up this the panel right quick. All right, we're gonna open up the panel. Master IB7. Master IB7 in the house. Yes, indeed. Peace and blessing. We're opening up the panel. Please come on in. We're Cherokee. Yeah, I want you guys to come on in here. Yeah, they go. That the powerful Empress. That's the powerful Empress. How you doing, Empress?
I'm doing great in yourself. It's
Oh
an
man,
honor. Salute
you
to
know
everyone on the panel.
I
Good
enjoy
morning, sister.
your
Good morning. Good
content.
morning.
I want to tell you I enjoy your content. You are what our Aboriginal people should be looking to because you have so much energy. Where do you get all that energy from?
The earth.
Because you all, every time I turn around, you on another channel. You're doing work.
It's the ancestors and the earth. That's right. I tell everybody I honor the ancestors, earth, and Mother Nature. That's
That's
what
right.
gives me my
That's right.
strength.
So what do you think about Indians who Aboriginal Indians who hunt? What you think about that?
I think we should know how to hunt because we don't know if we will have to learn to go back to what our ancestors, with what's going on with this government. If we was have to get off the grid, we would definitely need to know how to hunt, know what plant to eat, what plant not to eat. We would know how to. We need to learn how to fish. We need to learn how to basically camp. We used to laugh when we used to see them on TV going out talking they finna go camping, not knowing that was originally our ancestors' way of life. So, we definitely need to know all those things. We need to know first aid, CPR. We need to know but I know how to do all that because I'm in the nursing field. But a lot of people don't know how to. If you get cut by a poisonous snake, what to do? What plant is out there you can put on it, how to tie it off. There's a lot of things our people really, really needs to know, and we don't know how to do that.
One of the reasons I ask you this because I know we have a lot of vegan Indians in our tribes, and I hear them talking stuff. But one of the I was reading a book, and it was talking about how our Aboriginal people did it because of survival. They when you get down to survival back in them days, you didn't have yes they had vegetables, yes they did this, but they also when they were low on vegetables they also were hunting. So I hear a lot. I hear a lot on both sides of the tribes, and I see you in here, Chief Sun Hour. What do you think about the health and the eating when it comes down to our tribes? Go ahead.
Halito, can you guys hear me?
Halito
Well,
Chief.
it's up to you.
Halito, Empress. Well, remember when we grew our own food, when we
You
grew our own food, raised our own livestock, we were way more healthier when we started mixing in with the colonizer and eating their food. That's what started the cancer and all the stuff that affected our bodies.
So the pig, basically, what you saying? We started eating that pig. We started eating stuff that's raising our because you notice that our melanated copper indigenous people we have in our bloodline we have problems with high blood pressure. I suffer with high blood pressure, and I've been suffering with it for years since I was 30 years old. I'm 45, and I've been since I have decided to go on this doing more natural. I have been lowering my blood pressure and actually been maintaining my blood pressure, and I'm probably going to be no, I've been trying to move away from using high blood pressure pills because it causes my it was causing me to have kidney problems. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I think that these pills are temporary fix that in the long run they're calling you back to the hospital. So what do you think about that, Chief? Chief, Chief Sanal,
Yes, I'm here.
what do you think
Actually, if
about?
you notice, when meat start being in demand, and can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
When and they started like mass production of cows, they kind of like shocked these animals, and then they killed them in shock. So all that shock and fear went into their bodies.
It's
Went
like you're
into
getting feedback.
I think it's like you getting a slow response, Chief.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yes.
hear that. That's it. That's
Everybody
the
mute
way
their
it was
mic.
when everybody was answering. That's why I was asking.
Everybody, make sure y'all mute your mic so
Can
she
you?
could be not
Yeah,
get
my
feedback.
mic was muted when the sister Empress was speaking. Mine was muted up then because I had wanted to touch base. I wanted to comment on what she was saying about the CPR. Yeah, because my job before when I got hired the company I work for now, that was one of the requirements. We had to pass CPR class, and you have to wear your license. You have to keep your license on you, and every 2 years I have to go and renew my CPR license. That was one of the main criteria we have to keep with us and do every 2 years, or you will lose your job because CPR is one of the main things. That's why I was like, well, I ain't think everybody really was concerned about CPR.
Yeah. So anyway, when they kill these animals, they're in shock and fear, and people digest this, and now they're letting animals be slaughtered with tumors, cancer tumors all over them. So you have to be really careful what you eat. I mean, I do still eat a little meat. I don't eat pork at all, but I guard what I definitely guard what I eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, but we definitely have to watch what we eat. We definitely have to start growing our food. If we want to eat meat, we have to start raising them.
That's right. That's right. So I was listening to you before talking about us growing, getting our own cattle, getting our own chickens and stuff. I thought that was awesome what you were talking about because when you raise your own, you're not getting, because you wonder how chicken. You go up there, you see chicken today, and you see it looking like bigger than looking like a dog. I mean, size of a dog. And
Looking
they,
like it has a job. That's what it look
yeah,
like.
it's the steroids. It's the steroids that they're putting in, and you want it's growth hormones. That's why you see a lot of the sisters and a lot of little brothers. Come on now, let's be real. And I want y'all to understand that. I
That's
don't want to be.
elemental nine harmony. You want to eat healthy animals to become healthy.
That's right. I mean, think about it. The sisters used to be in the '70s. When you looked at sisters, go look at the tapes. It wasn't this big, as far as I'm talking about the hips. And you look at them now, you say like, wow, even the men are bigger than what it was back in the days because of the growth hormone. What you think about that?
Oh yeah, that's facts. And if you notice, there's a lot of hormonal changes, like people drinking the milk. You notice that there's more
Right.
feminine men, there's more masculine women. So yeah, that's a big change in everything that we eat. So that's why I don't drink milk at all.
Yes, I
I
don't
drink,
drink milk no
I
more.
drink coconut milk or either almond milk.
Yes, yes.
And
Because I want that. You brought up the milk situation. I was having problems with my stomach problems when I was drinking milk. I had diarrhea problems when I was drinking milk. I was always feeling bloated when I was drinking milk. Now that I don't drink milk no more, I feel much better. I read books about how it has pus in blood and feces in.
just about everything that they mass produce to try to compensate for feeding a lot of people, but really what they're doing is killing a lot of people. They're causing all kind of health effects in people because the animals have health effects in them.
Wow. Chief Empress, going on from here, what do you think about this case with this woman? She's not a she's a melanated sister who decided to get with this football player. Do you think she got with this white man for clout, or did she get with him for you know? Or what do you think about this? And you know, like I said, we're not hating. What do you say about people who think that we are a hate group? Go ahead.
It ain't hate because they do teach to love that their own. I don't consider it hate. They still in their even though they some will go outside their ethnic. They do teach to love their own. When they teach us to not love ourselves, that it's better if you date outside your own ethnic. That's what they teach. They program this on TV every day. We're not gonna sit here and act like we don't see it because we do see it. And majority of the time they promote melanated men with the carbon-based beings of America to be with a European. That's what they promote. And then as time went on, you only used to see that real heavily. But for like the last 10 years or so, they've been promoting the carbon-based woman here in America to date a European man, in which what they will call natives, but everybody's born in America is native. Everybody's not indigenous to this land. So they know that this is a matriarchal system. So they use the melanated woman here to have ties to the land. It's what they do. And you know, they have changed a lot of the laws or whatever, but it still goes back. If you tracing your roots, it goes back to the woman. That's why we always tell you do
The
your genealogy.
matriarch. Facts, Empress.
Yeah, and then way you'll find out who is who. So you know, when I seen that with her and what he did, it's that child was probably programmed to dislike herself coming up because we have seen this. You know, even in school, in the school system, who do you see at the head of the classroom? 99% of the time, you see some pale skinned woman or some pale skinned man teaching your children. So you already giving them the image there. And then you give them that same image in your church. You give them a pale skinned Jesus to represent who these are the people that you should cherish. This is where our people get this notion that I need to get, you know, be with one of them in order to be, you know, on this higher ranking because we have placed these people on pedestals that ain't never been on pedestals. It's only the media had gave you that these people belong up there. But if you know thyself, you ain't got to worry about that.
Facts.
What do you? I see we got the young brother. I want y'all to understand this young brother here. He's probably one of our youngest our youngest chiefs. Naja is like what's your 23 Naja Wells?
24.
24 years old. Yes, he's one of our youngest. Um, what do you think about what this conversation about? Because you do live in Mississippi where there's a lot of mixing going on. So I wanted to ask you, you being a young man, and you did date I think back in the day you did date a young a pale skin before, didn't you?
Multiple, and then came one that passed away. Was she was Filipino, Italian, and brown. I'm not gonna say black because we know the definition of black means absence of color, no color. But with Mississippi, me living here was, it's like our people are waking up to where they are rape. They basically I'm gonna put it like this: they sexifying Caucasian people out of existence so that we can exist more so. Because we know with the biracial mixing, the children are gonna have more so of our genes, very little to theirs. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? Because I literally grew up like in Long Beach. I grew up on a predominantly Caucasian city where it's not too many brown American Indian people. It's not too many of us. It's just more so of them. So like I grew accustomed of interracial relationships. That's just what I grew up off of. It was like it grew in the family and then it just came down and then you know. But with this, the story, when I first saw the story about it, I said, a lot of people are saying that the guy shouldn't play because oh, it's a brown American woman. He white. He should be out the league. You know what I'm saying, but I feel like with that story, this has happened. That story has had to happen more than once, just not reported on the occasions that it's happened. That's what. Because with the case of it is, like y'all said, it's like a comment said in the chat that more. Why is it that more Caucasian men are getting with our women just so they can have it? You say, but what they don't understand is the fact that you're basically in a lose situation. We sleeping with y'all women and y'all sleeping with our women. The kids is gonna have more of our genes. So you basically going extinct. You're going extinct regardless. That's what they fear. That's no
Wow.
secret.
And can I piggyback on what he's saying? The thing
Yes,
about
please.
it, our brothers do not understand. Once you mate with a Caucasian woman, you are what your mother is. They don't understand that you are what your mother is. It has always been matriarchal DNA. So they're white. I mean, not white, but they are Caucasian. Once you mate with them and you have children with them, yeah, they may look black, but you are doing your matriarchal DNA.
That's right.
So, no, you're not mixing them out of existence when you mate with them. And I wouldn't, I mean, I know indigenous sister who knows who she is. There's no way she's going to mix with a Caucasian man or any kind of albion, period, who know who she is, know her lineage. That's why I say arranged marriages should come back, because when we did arranged marriages, when we in our nation, those people were promised to each other from a certain age, like 2, 3 years old, all the way up, and they got to know each other. You got to know their bloodline. They had no mental instability in the tribe, because you watched those people grow up and you knew them. You know their mother, you knew their father. So it was more acceptable, because you chose, your family chose. And that is the best way, because remember, they did it for so long and they interbreeded and mixed with their own cousins, and that's what you got, that result. They became mentally unstable. But when we do it, we mix with other nations, other powerful tribes, like the Powhatan probably mixed with the Lenape, and that's how we were able to maintain our our reign and our systems of indigenous people that was growing, doing what they were supposed to do. But mixing your seed like that, that's causing all kind of mental instability. People don't understand. You're making mixed nuts.
Also, your health problems. You get
They,
health
they had
problems when you.
Look, they had a hairstylist, and she was maybe did a live about 10 years ago, and she said she does melanated people hair and she does Caucasian people hair. And she said when they start mixing, there were different sicknesses that would come about. Now, this is a hairstylist that's been like doing hair for like 20 years and had both people come, and the ones who didn't mix their seed, no kind of sickness. The ones who did, they had all kinds of different diseases that came about. We're not the same. People saying we're the same. Love is love and all that, but that's not true. They have a total different DNA than we do.
That's
Our
right. That's right.
molecular makeup is totally different from theirs.
That's facts.
And it's not that look, we have Caucasian people that married into our family. I'm not going to tell you a lie. And it's a
Yes.
difference. It's a big difference. I have nothing against Caucasian people. I have friends that's Caucasians, but they know. They know. So I'm saying that mixing them is mixing them out is not true, because if you mix with a matriarchal line, that child is who their mother is.
Facts.
Uh, uh the R. Somebody has an R on the. I think that's another sister up on. Who is that with the R on the? We have another sister on board. I do know that.
That would,
Go ahead, sir. What's your name?
that would be me. Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
I just wanted to put a short little thought out there. I had a chance to be on the live um of Amani Bay last night.
Oh, it was
And
amazing. Yes.
And then I just wanted to put the thought out there that he was talking a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting stuff about how Alex Haley he had he was claiming on the Roots movie and the person that created it, and that person it was proven wrong, of course.
Yeah,
And he had
he plagiarized that book. I mean, he plagiarized that story. It was really a story called The African, and it was a fictional
Mhm.
story.
Mm.
So he
And I
plagiarized
definitely
that
wanted to
story
play
and
on
said,
that thought right there.
"You want to discuss that thought right there?"
I wanted to definitely put that thought out there. And then he has documents. He has a slew of documents that I would definitely encourage everybody to get and share, of course.
Yeah, I feel you. I wanted to touch on this though. If you look at the DNA of a Caucasian, they are mixed with fish, monkey, and dog. Why would you want to include that in your DNA if you know who you are? Why would you want to do that?
Wow.
Wait, say that
Mm.
again, Son Alex?
They are mixed with fish, rhesus, monkey, and a dog.
So that
Wow.
In
explains
your
why they.
DNA, you can
So
go check
that
it out.
explains
You could type it up.
that
You could
explains why they
research it.
born with a tail. Then.
Yes.
Yeah, at birth,
Wow.
some of them are born with tails and they clip it off at birth. This is a scientific fact,
That
Facts.
is true.
and I'm not trying to sit here and be disrespectful, but I actually have the photos. I can actually show you guys. I wish I was at home because then I can get on my computer and I'll be able to show you guys. But I don't want it to be, I don't want YouTube to take me down if I show
Yeah,
some of
because but it is videos of it on YouTube. They can key it in and go and look for themselves because there's plenty of videos about it on YouTube.
But I want to ask the sister, he was also saying that we should go after Alex Haley's estate, right, Goddess?
We should definitely read up on the documents, and because that was crazy. I mean, you
Yeah.
have. I remember when I was a child and everything, looking at the movie and all that retarded mess, and learning about that, and then come find out this is, and then I mean, I have I have little. I'm an auntie. I have nieces and nephews all over the place, and they're still learning about the trickery, the foolishness, the stupid.
My daddy told me that shit is not true. You are indigenous to this land. He didn't say indigenous. He said you're Indian. You Chickasaw and Choctaw. You're not. That's bullshit. What they spewing on that TV. He
And like I had mentioned a time back, I say that my family tie line there we got Blackfoot. This is what my elder cousins told me on my dad's side, and then my elder cousins on my mother's side said the Cherokee. They said the I think there might be a tribe called Setinut. I'm not sure, but they didn't say, "Oh, you came from Africa."
Well, I feel if we go after Alex Haley's estate, I feel we should go after Walter Plecker's estate And I feel we should go after Naomi Drake, who was in Louisiana and changed all of our
Margaret Sanger too.
Margaret Sanger. That's
Awesome.
right, goddess. That's right, Empress. Facts. Because all of them was complicit. All of them knew,
Yes.
especially the government.
Yeah,
So
all of them played a part in the genocide. And not only that, we need to go after Bill Gates, all of them.
all of them. Halito, someone just came up.
Yeah, we got Dakulu. When I one of the reasons why I love to see him come up. This is a young man who actually live in nature and actually that when I'm telling you, if you ever check his channel out, you see some of the and he's he does some great historian talks and everything. So I thought it would have been great for him to come on and actually come in and share some of his opinions. So how you doing, Dakulu?
Hey, peace and love, my brother. How are y'all guys? How are you?
Peace and
Good.
love. Right.
Halito.
Hey,
Grand.
so man, y'all are banging on this topic, and it's so interesting because, and my guys, I apologize for the background noise. I'm in the van right now. I'm almost to my destination, but uh,
He was kicked out.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I know he said I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse Jackson was in cahoots with Walter Plecker. I knew what's his name? Almighty Race. Um, the one who came over here with the boats and tried to get us to go back to Africa on the boats. What's his name?
What was that? I can't even think.
With the hat on with the
He back in. He back in.
yeah, sorry about that, guys. The connection's trash, but um, yeah, but I think y'all are exactly right. When you mix DNA, because I'm mixed as well, so when you mix any type of fruit, vegetable, animal, you can look at ligers, you can look at the hybrid foods that we have now. You know, a lot of those mixed things can't really survive out in the natural environment. And they do create different elements and different diseases that strand has to now deal with. So mixing and all that stuff can be bad. So I do agree with you on that. But I also wanted to put this thought out here before I hop on the little Jay Wheeler and the NFL thing. So if let's say a straight melanated brother was to have intercourse or make a family with a white woman, obviously that child would be mixed. Now, if that child was to then grow up, is become an adult, and then have a family with a similar melanated man as her father, right? Then that baby would become more melanated than her. Then if she continued the same process down the family line, then eventually you would get back to that original strand, wouldn't you think? And I wanted to ask that question before I hop off, and then I wanted to speak on the Jay Wheeler. That shit is a fucking shame, and I don't mean as I don't know like if you allow cussing on here, and I
No,
apologize.
go ahead
oh,
on,
you
brother. Go ahead
feel
on.
No,
Speak.
you good, man.
But
You
but
good.
feel
for him to ask her to bow to him, and then when she didn't, him beat her like that, choke her out, all that. What type? What type of world do we live in?
I
And
want
and
I want
and
to
it
ask
blows my
you.
mind because now they're talking about he has mental health issues, he's bipolar. No, like it doesn't matter. You don't ask no black woman to bow to you. And it's like, bro, like you're not even a star player. Like you're not even the best player on the field. So it's like you don't even have that type of clout or bravado to even ask somebody to even do that. Like, and then for him to say, "Oh, like you still alive," and this is like coming from the reports, and it's like what is going through your mind? And it's like me being grown and raised around white people as well. you know there's something that is not in their mind that is connects them with empathy, that connects them with other organisms. Like it's like they don't have a sixth sense ability that allows them to feel what other organisms are going through, allows them to put themselves in their shoes, if that makes sense you know
Yes, it
and
do, young brother. I want to answer your question. Yes, it
And
could.
then I piggyback off of you, Chief.
Yes, your DNA can be um, breeded out. You can breed out the Caucasian DNA and get back to that old blood. Yes, you can. Definitely. Second question, that's just the first thing.
Wow, boy, y'all hitting y'all beaming today, man. Go ahead.
By,
Y'all hitting all the
him being a famous,
go ahead, y'all.
by him
Oh,
being
we
a,
dropping downs today.
by him being a famous athlete, just think of how many people that's not so famous that get their ass beat by police, Caucasian men, other men, kidnapping of women. That's just something that was lucky enough to come out where we saw it.
And you know what's crazy? The story came out like 5 days later. Like when it first happened, like it didn't break no news, like it didn't go on no ESPN, like no reports, no nothing until like weeks later. So it's like you're exactly right. What if it is a no name or nobody that's not connected to an NFL player? Like that shit just gets swept underneath the rug and none of us know about it. You're exactly right.
What I want to say is, first off, these people have been taught this superiority, which was a lie, because they don't the same as our history or our truth, because they have his story, meaning it's his story that he has lied and put together to bring them into existence. Our truth has been distorted, just like they're living his lie and have them thinking that they were the original kings and queens of the planet. That's how they look. They have a fetish for us. When we say we don't want to be bothered with them people, they get mad as hell. But they can tell you that they don't want to be bothered with you. And we'd be like, we don't give a fuck. But if we say it's a problem, because they've been fed all these lies for 200 something years, that they are these great people and we shall honor and cherish them. That's why when he told her to bow, because in his mind, that's what we're supposed to do when it comes to them. They always gonna play the crazy role when they caught in some this thing. They always victimize them, but in the end, they become the victim. It's nothing new with these people. They'll say they intimidated by us or they fear us, but yet you don't want to stay away from us. If you fear me, why you pull me over? Me, if I fear something, I'm not gonna go over there and bother. It's just like me seeing a rattlesnake. I fear rattlesnakes. Why would I go over there and bother that rattlesnake? And the main thing that disconnect them from empathy and sympathy, they do not have the same melanin that we have. Melanin plays a part in a whole lot of things. It doesn't just play a part in your skin. It plays a part in your brain wave, how you think, how you feel. It plays a part in a lot of things that goes on in your life, your vision, your taste buds. See, but they want to make you think it's just a skin thing. We are naturally born very intelligent people due to the melanin within our organs. It's just not on the top of the skin, it's in the brain, it's in your organs. But what they did was come up with different stuff, chemicals and stuff to dumb our babies down, because they know that our babies, most of the time before all these chemicals and stuff, before they start shooting us with the vax, what's in your body, and once we become pregnant, it also transpires, it goes on in your blood, it goes from you into the baby. They know that. So what they did when they started shooting us up with stuff, it started dumbing down our next generation of offspring. Because our babies literally start walking by the time they're 5 or 6 months. They're already talking before they want.
Empress, I want to ask you a question. Why do they? It's something, and I'm gonna talk off of what Copper Ty saying. They call us animals and savage, but they call
Actions is
their
godly.
action. Yeah. What I want to ask you on this is that they're the people with the thin lips. When you look at a chimpanzee, if you ever actually watch monkeys,
shave the hair off of them, you'll get them.
why do they always call our melanated people monkeys? What
Because
the obsession with calling us monkeys?
they knew what they was drafted from. That was, like I said, everything about them. They have done nothing but stole identity. That's what people need to realize. They have nothing stole but the identity and the truth of our people. They will say
Thank you,
aliens
Nicole.
came here. They will say aliens came here. They ain't gonna tell you that you came here. But they'll give you this image of some old ugly ass alien came here and created all these things, but they ain't gonna tell you that you came here and you created them. That's what they're not telling you.
Whoa.
What the
She
thing
ain't lying.
is, they totally changed everything around.
Facts.
They took our story and made it theirs. Plain
Yes.
and simple.
They did a little switcheroo on our history. That's what they did.
Facts, guys.
Yep.
Facts.
Exactly. So now when you see the monkey and all that, if you shave the hair off a monkey, what color is the monkey?
Pale.
No, exactly.
Pale. And
Pale
here's
too.
what gets to me though. Here's what gets to me about it. Why is it that every time? Why is it? Here's a funny part about them. Here's what's funny about Caucasian people. How come is it? And this is another thing too, for real. How come is it they don't freaking realize the ones that actually love us? How come they don't freaking realize that their own kind is their own threat? And teaching them the lie that they own, that us, our progression, their progression with us and our progression with them is what's supposed to have them scared. This is the crazy part. Their own freaking kind has taught them, you know what I'm saying? This is primarily through country families though, you know what I'm saying? Because I live in Mississippi. How these live, they do it through country families. They literally have their own freaking kind who love to be colorblind to freaking fear that they own ethnical progression with us is what's supposed to have them scared. And our progression with our own people is what's supposed to have us scared at the same time. So our progression with our people of full progress supposed to be progression with our own people, and their progression with us against their own is supposed to be our dual side regression. And I'm like, yo, what in the freaking world? You know what I'm saying? We don't have problems with Caucasian people. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Us as brown American people, we the most forgiving freaking people on planet Earth. They couldn't have picked a better people to screw over. I'm
That's
like,
a
we forgive y'all for half of every freaking thing. It's at the same time, we so stupid, our people so freaking stupid, we forgave but forgot at the same time what they did. And I'm like, yo, what are you freaking kidding me?
it's
Come on now.
it's not that we forgot, young God. They did rituals on us to make us forget with spelling, with spells. So we have to realize we were under spells and we're just beginning to wake up because their power is over. If you notice, everything is shutting down for them because we were given a certain amount of time to wake up and our people are waking up. I'm so happy that you're on this panel because it is amazing to see our young people waking up at mass speed. And that's the way it's supposed to be, God.
I'm so proud of him. Let me tell you something. My son, how I found first met the young man is you don't get too many young people that follow adult conversations. Like, I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, at the time the young, I think you was like 20, 21, something like that when he first started coming on, and you don't find my son will be 21 in February, February the 24th, but he went to school and played against my son, and they know each other. It's a small town, and I just noticed that everything that I put on consciousness, he was always interested in what I was talking about, and then I would follow his channel and see his Facebook and say, "Wow, this is impressive that this young man posts so much about our people." And he's been learning, and he's been learning, and we need to get more involved with our youth. We got to. I'm telling y'all,
That's a
the
fact.
tribe. It's no. There's no possible reason for us to not to involve our youth. We can't grow tribes without our youth.
But that's what I wanted to ask. Like, even though we see the time is changing in front of us, even with the protests they was doing and stuff, the times has changing. I started to see a lot of Caucasian people out protesting with us. I know some people are going to say they have a hidden agenda, But are we supposed to trust the new generation of the Caucasian people, the ones that's turning their parents in for doing wrong, or telling their parents y'all wrong for hating those people? They didn't do nothing wrong. Are we to trust them? Because the other
First
next
of all,
generation behind
we
us.
let them protest. We should be tired of protesters. Now it's our time
That's
to
true.
rise up and take our land back. Let
That's
them
true.
protest. It's
Let them say, holy hand, on Million Man March. What did the Million Man March do for our people? I want to know to this day. Did the
Nothing.
crime stop? Did we stop killing each
None.
other? And this ain't no shot at the Muslims, but I want to know, did it stop?
no, and they raised a lot of money because my $20 went in there. I know, I
Right.
do. That's right. They raised lots of money, and
And,
made
and, and, and the
nothing
minister
about
looking
the
good.
community.
Yeah, he living good.
Yep.
That's
But I was
all.
just
The
saying,
majority of them are. The majority of the mega churches are living good because they're living off of us being asleep and not knowing the truth. Like I said, they have gave you
Mm.
the pale image of this great white hope, and then you use our own people to give you
that great white
to
hope,
get. They
that
use,
great.
you know what I'm saying. They use our own people to give us the great white hope. So why would you feel like if he's chosen by God, because they'll say, "Oh, I got a calling." So you, by us not being knowing thyself, we really tend to believe then, oh well, maybe God called him and told him that it's him that needs to lead the sheep. So what we not knowing, he ain't supposed to wake up the sheep. He's supposed to keep the sheep sleep. So of course we gonna go following all up in church, listen to him. Then you got behind him this great big old picture of the great white hope up on the behind him with his hands open, with his arms opening, and all at the same time when you leave out of church, you got them, the people that look like the man that's up in your church behind your pastor that he has you praying to every Sunday and every Wednesday or every Sunday
Hey,
morning. You know, then
Don't
you go
forget they be looking
outside.
like the Klan too.
oh,
They be
Yeah,
looking like
that's
the
what
Klan too.
that's what I'm
Same
saying.
cone hats, same
That's what I'm
dresses.
saying.
let me tell you
And you,
something.
but you leave church, and then you go right outside, and those same people that look like that man that you've been in your church praying to, hoping that he come back and save you from all your sins, uh, them the same people out there beating the hell out your damn ass out in the streets.
Well, let me tell you
Exactly.
something, Cliff. Let me make y'all laugh. Let me make y'all laugh. Think about this. I just saw TD Jakes come on, and
Mm.
TD Jakes was talking about what Biden is doing. He's going to pass a bill. But let me tell you something. The worst people for melanated people is the church. I'm
Yep,
telling you.
it
I'm
is.
telling
Oh,
you.
you ain't gotta tell me twice.
I am telling you. These people here are getting millions. Look at the mega churches that are going on,
Yep,
and they are
Billions
creating
of dollars and pay none of the
millions.
taxes.
We got a pandemic going on right now, and they living good.
still living good because you know why? They have. This is when they came up with Cash App. So even if you can't get to your bank, your Cash App is directly to the bank, so he can still get up in his house or go to the church by himself. When they say 6 feet apart, they not knowing they're saying 6 feet deep. All these things are wordings that they use to keep you spellbound because these are spellbound words. So what he's doing is, oh, I'm still giving you the good word or the good book, and still giving you hope. So you need to pay me because I'm coming out of my house in the midst of this pandemic and still giving you the good word. But when you look through the book for yourself, it's got more war going on, more hatred going on. It's got every kind of destruction it is, every kind of war it is. But that's the good book that he's teaching
That's
me.
why I'm reading no Bible. That's why I'm reading
Okay,
no Bible.
I'm glad.
Some things
I'm
is
glad.
true,
I'm
but
glad you
most of it
said.
is lies.
I'm glad.
Anything, hold up, let me tell y'all something. For people to say some is true and some, it is basically a book of dealing with the court system. It's all about how you gonna go up in there and represent yourself. Because if you gonna Just look at like if he died for your sins like they said he did, that means there's no more sins in the world. How are you born in sin? Because he already died for the sins. So sins don't exist anymore because he died for them. Let's just put
Sins
that
never
out there.
existed. Sins never
Exactly.
existed. Sins was just a thing to just to
We know.
control people.
I'm saying that's what they tell you in the book. I know sins don't exist. We just have evil people exist. People with bad intentions. They had these intentions to keep you mad. It's a mind control thing with these people. If I have control of your mind, I have control of your body. I don't need nothing else. All I need is your mind, just like they got us now. They got us our mind control because they got you thinking that this virus is jumping off people by if they breathe out their mouth or they breathe out their nose, it's gonna jump out of their mouth and their nose and land on you. And lo and behold, you got the death. You got death on you.
I
This is
heard
the mind control our people got.
I heard Brother Peanut speak on TJ. So let me throw this other colonizer out here at y'all. This scam on AKA Pimp Preacher.
Mm-hmm.
His name is. I live in Texas, and anybody who live in Texas know about Joel Osteen from Lakewood Church. Okay, this cocksucker here worth $100 million. Remind you that, but his daddy was a pimp preacher, so they passed the church down to him. He to continue to pimp preach. His brother is a doctor, but anyway, Joel Osteen is worth $100 million as we speak
Mm.
today. And
Mm.
this cocksucker just got $450. I mean, 450 million in PPP loan.
Mm. Mm.
It's a small business. Okay, you a mega church and they gave you 450 million as a small business loan?
Yeah, because see, he still got to keep the people asleep now. He can't let the people wake up because I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
Just as
Yeah.
many of us waking it up as a many of them waking it up too.
But we talking about the same guy who was on the yacht when Hurricane Harvey came through here, and he didn't want nobody in his church.
But guess
Not
what?
even his
But
own
what does the Bible
congregation
teach you?
was.
But what does the Bible to tell you? It tells you to forgive.
And accept those
All
for
right,
who
you
they
said
are,
something.
and accept those for who they are, but they don't go by their word.
Nope.
And at the same time, do not falsely indulge in the heavenly Father image. But you running around with gold crosses and gold medals on. Like what? Man, if you don't take that little false flag boom off your neck, man, get out of here. Put an anchor on or something like that.
I tell them all the time, I'm out of Hallmark cards, I'm out of two cheeks, and I damn sure I'm out of all that. I'm not turning no cheeks, I'm out of Hallmark cards and all that.
I'm with you. I'm out of cheeks anyway. My ancestors ran out of cheeks, and I didn't have no cheeks when I got here because I've been this same fire. I've been like it since a child, so I already knew where I was going. My mom even tell you this. She used to say, "Girl, I'm surprised you still living because I fought breakfast, lunch, and dinner." She used to tell me all the time, "Slow down, stop, don't know you gonna wind up in some shit you can't get out of it." So, I ain't got no cheeks for nobody. I'm gonna give them the truth. I don't care if I'm giving it to my own people. The truth is the truth. So I
Facts.
spare
Shout
no
out to
I don't
Wahadney.
spare
Shout out to
nobody.
Wahadney.
I spare nobody. My own or the others, as you want to call
Shout
it,
out
the
to
others.
Aborigine TV.
Power to the
So
God, Aboriginal.
and pet to watch their little brother Wanagi. Halito Aboriginal TV. My brother. My nephew. That's my nephew. But yes, until we come out of this, these people are gods. We're gonna forever be lost, y'all. We literally treat these people like they're the gods, and we forget that we're the gods and the goddesses.
That's right. And the thing of what I was saying before I was cut off, they just took me off. But I was
I
saying
wonder where you went to.
the etymology of the word black means pale, right? So white
Yes,
folks were marching talking about black folks matter. Who they talking about?
themselves.
Nobody.
No, they were talking
But
about
in reality,
themselves.
which is
They
crazy.
were.
which is
It,
crazy. But the common sense stand of the word black, which is an easy elementary answer. Black means absence of color. Basically, they
yeah,
call us dead. But
Right.
with them, they're saying white lives matter. I'm like, really? Y'all should be saying non-melanin black lives matter.
yeah.
Could you tell the panel how they gave you Ritalin when you was little? They gave you Ritalin, and tell them the things that they gave you, young fella.
I was on Adderall. I was on Adderall at 5, 6 years old. I was in kindergarten at the time. I was 3 years old, going up to second, third grade. Like around my first, second, third grade year, I had to stop. Grams took me off because I was on and out. But then all of a sudden, it got worse. I got start enforced in taking Folklin, which is generic Adderall, all the way up till I was 18. It took me till I was 18, 19 to stop taking, but to convince them to stop taking. Then another medication. I forgot what that was. Try to get me to take that stuff at 20 years old, 20, 21 years old. I didn't even take that. I said, because I woke up. I started waking up. I'm like, bro, this medication stuff ain't for me. Because I'm thinking in my head, I don't know what in the freaking world Ritalin and Folklin mean, or Ritalin, not Ritalin, or Adderall and Folklin, aka generic Adderall, got crack cocaine, meth in it, one of the two. I'm like, really? I'm not taking this bull no more. Since then, I've been fine. And the sad part is, I didn't even realize the stuff till I was 17, going on 18 at the time to realize, oh my God, man. And I'm wondering why I'm losing so much freaking weight. I used to be bigger. I'm up here at 156, healthy as an ox. Then I started getting on medication, a different medication. I'm losing weight. I'm 120 now. I'm like, dude, I'm not supposed to be this small. Why do I look like this? I'm like, I can't do this no more. I'm not taking that medication. Since then, I've been fine. I've been fine and dandy.
They
They
did the
they
same thing to me. My son was going to Marion Central. He was maybe like in sixth grade, and they called me in the office. The sister called me in the office and said, "We want to give your son Ritalin." And I say, "No, you take the Ritalin. If y'all try to give my son anything, I'm taking him out of this school. Period.
it
That
had
that shit
they
is for animals, basically."
yep. And
They
that's
try
what
to drug our
the
kids.
they
Yeah,
see they try to do me like that with my mom. Try to tell my mom that I needed to be on something to keep me calm, to keep me settled in school. And she said ain't nothing an ass whooping won't cure. And she meant that.
All I needed was just ass whoopings.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all
That's
I
all.
needed. That's all I needed. I said,
Yeah.
I didn't need no drugs just to think. People
no,
don't
Mm.
even understand that.
they probably saw something in you then that they wanted to stop. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Exactly.
Ingenious in you back
And
then.
I was out, and that was in the 70s. That was in the 70s that they was trying to put me on this medicine. So that's to let you know how long they've been trying to really do something about the each generation. They was trying to affect us in some kind of way because they knew, and we was gonna start waking it up, gonna start answering questions. Just think about the ones that's now that are small. They ask a lot of questions because they want to know. They see stuff. They go and see children are blind. They're taught to lie. Those who know and they see something, they'll question it. So it's time. We have to get our children out of these school systems. And even though they're at home now, and right, and it shouldn't have took this to get our children out of our system. Because if you know what the school system was really for to build factory workers. It wasn't for what we think it is. It was to build
Exactly.
slaves. It was all it was for.
I even taught that back in school. I was taught that back in high school in U.S. history class myself. That factory kids were in factory workers. Look at the way school is. School is today's factory workers, today's cotton picking via education mind. That's what school is. I'm put it like this. Schooling is today's mindset picking cotton. That's
Yep.
what that is today. For
Creating
real.
slaves. Yeah,
They're not teaching you how to pay bills, pay rent, and all that. They're not doing that in schools nowadays. They now all of a sudden want to start doing it. When the freaking world was this when I was coming up, when I was going to school. They didn't teach us none of that. All the things they teach you is health
Yeah.
class, PE, other stuff that wasn't even mandatory. They didn't even want to teach you the real deal stuff about the only thing when I was going to school, they had health class, they had that, biology, all that other stuff. They didn't teach us all the real deal, how to learn in the real world. Only thing they taught us was mindset based picking cotton. Now I'm sitting there like,
That's
bruh,
that Mississippi. That's that Mississippi mentality.
yeah, exactly. Then they had a nerve. And the sad part is, when I was in school, I had to learn about religion myself through learning through U.S. history about Christianity. How Christianity was not real evil. I had to find that out and look back at that when I was like 18, 19 years old. I'm like, bruh, Christians really, how in the freaking world Christians gonna say that to be, how in the freaking world they gonna say accept those for who they are and have the nerve to say that themselves? But back in the days, your group of people, your crooked, made up name group of people through mankind, butchered, murdered, and killed innocent people all over this country for not believing in your false made group, your false made stories. Come on now. Give us some consistency around here. That's how Christians work. That's how it all started. Not
How
the
you doing,
but
Mike?
primarily it didn't start the
Matt Nagy,
Christianity.
Matt Nagy came in and said woman beater. And
At
he's
least you
I
know.
guess he's talking about
I ain't
the
gotta tell
topic
you.
that we're talking about. Yes, we're talking about this. It started off as what we were talking about was about the Seattle Seahawks
Offensive
lieutenant
lineman,
Football player.
who choked the football player who choked up a melanated
woman,
woman, and we're talking about situations where Ray Rice was immediately put all over social media. Was immediately
Facts.
put all
Hey,
over social media.
like back up
And,
on.
immediately put all over television. Okay, national
Yes.
television, CNN, Fox News. But we don't hear too much about this on a national base. Okay, and this man was able to buying out immediately. And
He
we're
did.
just saying, where's the energy? Where's the energy? Where's the same energy for melanated people? Where's the energy?
just like they did Ray Rice about his, and that was a melanated man, melanated woman situation, and they put him out the league instantly. They
It's the
instantly got
same
onto his
thing.
story.
Well, it was the same thing like with the dude with the dogs. With the dog had his
Michael,
dog
Vick,
Michael
fighting.
Vick,
Michael
Michael
Vick.
Vick.
The
Yeah.
only one that was right there, but I don't think he's
Michael
doing it right
Vick,
now because of the
like they
past.
Michael
did
Vick.
Vic,
But I
Michael
know
Vick,
they
like
have
they
another
did
house
him.
around here. I think it's over by the CarMax, but that's a nice little ways from
Somebody
here.
need to put
And I
their
don't think
self
he's
on
gonna be.
mute. Yeah, but that's the same thing they did to Michael Vick. But then they caught others out. Other ethnics have been doing it, but they didn't post them. They didn't give them time. Michael Vick got more time for a dog fighting than I've seen. These ones have raped women like they do rape the woman by the dumpster, and the judge said he don't feel that he needs to be in jail. Didn't give him any jail time for raping that girl beside the dumpster because she was drunk and fell out, and he raped her.
We definitely have to question anything the mainstream media just push out for us to digest and
Yes.
think it's true and know it's true. We don't know what that situation was. It could have been a setup. It could have been something dealing with him that he has before or her that's dealing with before. We just have to
You
question
know what, Chief?
Question
You know what?
everything.
Yes, but the thing I'm telling you why we should question everything because they're literally trying to teach our people to fear our own people.
facts.
That's what they really pushing. That's why they always try to say that it's the crime is so heavy in our communities, but yet when you go in their communities, you will find more drugs. You find the top ranking drug dealers because we don't have planes trying, and we don't own none of these things, so we can't bring the drugs into the communities. But they're able to get the drugs into the community and disperse them amongst our young men. That telling them, yeah, you know, you can make this amount of money to take care of your family. don't want to give you a job, but he want to give you something that's gonna help kill your people.
And the main media was pushing that like crack in the black in the
Yes,
African American community,
yes,
heroin and guess what? It was no more in the melanated community than the Caucasoids community
facts.
because they were dying from it in mass speed. It's
That's
just
a
they
fact.
have to keep an image on us because they know their time is up. So any kind of distraction that they put out there, they want us to swallow and just stop what we're doing to go to that and concentrate on that instead of
Yep,
doing what we're supposed to do. And that's getting our land back.
yep. Cause see,
And
they
like they
wanted
doing with
people to
COVID.
think,
Yes.
yes,
And now you notice they're saying COVID is going down. That's because
yep,
they put a demon in, well, a clone demon in office. So now they're telling you, oh, COVID is going down because they want you to accept the status quo. They want you to accept everything that they tell you, be the slave that they want you to be, and never
mhm,
question things. But we have to question everything.
Sister Sundown, both of them are demons. Donald Trump and Biden is demons.
He
Both
might,
of them.
we
he
know
might
that.
be.
There's
Let me
there's
tell you,
no
Peanut,
pale there's
Peanut,
no
listen to
pale
me
face
carefully.
king out here for
Let
us.
me tell you carefully. I don't trust any Caucasian ruler, but he was changing everything back to the republic like it
Facts,
should be. You
facts,
understand? You have to understand that he was changing everything to the republic, giving it back to the people.
people,
So and I don't support anything because I don't vote because you're taking yourself out your own government. We have our own
facts,
government.
facts. But
But
we
at least
need him there because he's giving it back to the people. That means the government is not running things. You're running things. You'll be able to make decisions for yourself. But with Biden them in office, you can't make them. That's why they say, oh, they're gonna make sure 100 million some people take this thing. Because on the Democrats, you don't have that option to think for yourself.
and another thing, he is private. He is a secured party. That's why they cannot make him bring his tax returns because
Nope,
there is no taxes. You are
nope,
not supposed to be paying taxes because that's illegal. He knows
facts.
all this and they're afraid of him for that. He was fighting against the status quo. All those people that he was going against have been in office for over 40 years. What have they done? He came
Brought in all this pedophilia.
and was turning every look all the
All of them.
But
All of them pedophiles. That's
you
good.
know I agree
That's
with y'all. But,
facts.
but my thing is this: we need to move away from all politics that has to do with the pale face. We have to come up with our own tribe. We have to do our own thing. We
but
cannot.
we created the
Hey,
They're
republic.
excuse
not.
me,
They're not going to help us
Chief,
win.
Chief, listen
excuse
to
me.
me
I,
one
I
minute.
wanted to, I wanted to
We
speak on
created
something.
the republic. We created the republic. We wrote
Yep,
the Constitution, the first one, not the
yep.
1871.
Hey, Sister
We
Sundown,
created it.
Sister Sundown, I
Yeah.
just watched the video about the NARS and NARS,
Yes.
where Trump signed the paperwork to go back to that situation you talking about as we speak.
The republic. And we not
Yes.
understand
Hey,
it.
he
Look
signed the
at him.
paper. People don't know the Constitution changed, but Trump, before he left office, he signed the paperwork to go back to the
He's not.
republic.
He's still the president.
Do your
He,
own
Hey,
research. Go
hey,
look
hey,
at every
hey,
executive order he signed. Go look at
hey.
every
People
executive
don't want to.
order he
They
signed.
not ready for. They not ready for that conversation right there. Because I
They
just did
gotta
my
be.
homework.
They
I
have to be
just did.
because let me tell you something.
March the
The
4th supposed to be the day he's supposed to be sworn in, or March the 4th when he goes
as the
back to
republic.
as the republic and not the corporate. See, Biden is the president of the corporation. He's going to be the president of
Facts.
the. He's going to be the president of the
Republic.
America, the
The
republic.
republic.
We goes
let
back
me
to
tell
the
you something.
so
Whatever happens, we're going to have to be ready to step into our position.
Place. Facts.
We have to
And
step into our position. Brother in Mississippi, we might have to make him a chief so he can, do what he have to do in Mississippi to bring his people together. Chief
That's
Anaya
right.
is in Mississippi.
That's
Chief
right.
Muller is in
Governor Tate Reeves. Tate Reeves. That's Mississippi governor.
Well, we
uh,
got, we got, we got. I live right there by him, Chief. I live right there by him, and
Well,
I
you
think
might
you're right.
you gonna
I
have
think you're
to
right.
put him in a territory of your territory, and you and him get together. Empress is in Tennessee. She's
Hmm.
gonna work with the Tanasi. I'm in Louisiana. I'm gonna work with this brother right here and some other people. T. Christopher, she who walks through the mist is in Nevada. She might have to take that territory. We're gonna have to step into our positions, guys. Can't keep
Facts.
going back and forth about who doing this and who doing that. We have to step into our position. We have to become the leaders that we were chosen to be from birth.
And that's the reason why it's a good thing that he's still in office. He's gonna be the 19th president, and it's a good thing he's there because up under the Democratic Party, which is a dictatorship, a democracy, you will not be able to do this. And when they
It's
say
really
come
both
out of
sides.
Babylon, when they say come out of Babylon, that's what they're talking about. Come away from up under that corporation. We do not supposed to be in that corporation. We're not supposed to be a part of nothing pertaining to them. We're not their citizen, and it's in their paperwork. We're not their citizens.
We are a republic, and we
Facts.
did that. We did that first constitution. We did that. We made those
Yes.
land patent offices. We did that. We
Facts.
had our own banks.
Yeah, but we did it, but they took it away from us, and
You
they've been
know
claiming
why?
it as
Because
their
we
own.
allowed
The
them.
Matter of fact,
owners of the country took
Wait,
it,
let me tell you
they've
why.
been
took the
walking
banks.
around
Let
as
me
if
tell
like
you
like
why.
it's their own.
Let me tell you why. Because we allowed them to misclassify us and call us something else,
Facts.
and that took the protection away from us. As long
Walter Plecker,
that's what
1924. The
Anti-federalism got took away.
Racial Integrity Act took our identity from us.
that's right, and that's when they could start. And remember, it didn't start till like the late 20s and 30s that they start burning
Yes.
shit down and hanging us. Remember
Yep.
that we had the power. We allowed them to take that power.
Yes.
First of all, we got lazy and let them start doing shit for us.
Doing and now it's time. But they knew that it was gonna come back to this, and we needed him because if he wouldn't be
Right?
there, y'all, the Japanese are being here, the Chinese, whatever you want to call them, they'll be over in here running and dictating, and that's the last thing we need.
Facts Black Telepathic Thought University. Exactly right. They
Yeah, ain't none of them ain't none of them shit, and we know that.
It's
But
both sides.
But
yeah,
people
yeah,
don't understand.
we
But
know
what
Both
people don't
left
sides.
wing,
We under
understand.
a
right wing.
socialist country.
and
But
check
I'm
Yes,
what
saying
people
we live under
understand.
a socialist government now.
I
We
don't
live
know.
under a socialist government. People don't understand that.
And
But
all
we
I
that
want
look.
to
A
ask you two
socialist
ladies
government is
this.
where
I
the
got to ask
government
y'all two
decide
ladies this.
everything on both sides.
and all
Listen,
that
I
shit
do have to ask y'all two ladies this, and I'm driving, but I want to ask y'all this. I gotta ask y'all this. You do know that Donald Trump was a Democrat before he posed as a Republican, right?
Republican.
so was
You
a
know
lot
He
all
of
the history of
Democrats
Donald
that
Trump,
changed
right?
so was a lot
so
of Democrats that changed to Republican
All
after
right, then. So Mitch McConnell, and all them were the original Democrats, and they
right.
flipped parties. They
And
flipped parties. All these people are the devil. I can't, I can't,
we know
I
that the
can't
It's
left
explain
both
it.
wing.
sides. And both
Listen,
sides is running socialism.
and
both
Both
then
sides is
sides.
running socialism.
and then y'all
Listen,
have to understand who's running them. The Ashkenazi bankers is running all of them.
yes.
The
Exactly.
Ashkenazi bankers is running all of them.
Check this out: left wing, white wing, all the same bird. But what we're saying is, we needed him to stay in place so we can get our government back up and
I
running.
hear what you're saying. You talking about the bill?
Like telepathic, it's all a game. It's a game.
Yes, all again. This is
But
all the
we can't get
Matrix.
involved in their game. I don't get involved
Nope,
with their voting. I don't get involved with
I
their
don't vote.
contracts.
I don't
That's
vote, so I
Well,
don't have
I
to
already
I
worry.
know
don't
you.
vote either. Never have, never
I already
will.
know you won't get involved in that.
That's contracts. We don't need to have contracts. We need to start our people rising up, reclaiming what is ours. Their lease is up, guys. Their lease
Yes,
is up. Now we just
Exactly.
into our position. You don't have to tell me about Donald Trump. I know about him, his father, Frederick Jesus Trump. I know about them all. They all
yes,
probably work with the Nazis, which is
yep,
still here. But who hired the Nazis? It was the Ashkenazi bankers. We have to remember that. Them
mhm,
small minority
Free.
It's handling shit. That's their handlers. The media, all
Yep.
that's elite bankers, 10 people, 6 people on those 10 major news and media corporations. Just 6 people. So that's how
Hmm.
they're putting all
It's
this.
more than them families. It's more than the Rothschilds. It's
Oh,
way more than the
I know
Rothschilds. You
that
got the
ain't even what we talking
Bilderbergs.
about.
that's right.
You
That's
got
right.
the Bilderbergs. You got the Rothschilds. You got
Yeah.
the McDonald's. You got the McDonald's family, the Disney families, and most
Yeah, the
people.
Duke,
What people don't
and you
know,
got
What
most people
y'all
got
don't
the
know about the
Duke.
Disney and the McDonald families. Are those are the main two of the multiple intercontinental
I'ma tell
elitist
y'all,
families of the 1%.
And don't forget about you got the Duper family too.
DuPont, but I'm gonna tell y'all, it's
Oh,
bigger than
Duplains, Freemans, all of them.
it's bigger than all them. It's bigger than all them. Y'all just calling out the people
You're
that's
right,
down
Joel.
here that we know. It's bigger than that.
Israel
The
runs
rabbit
them
hole, the
all.
rabbit hole
You're
does.
I
But I
definitely
wanted to
agree
touch
with you,
on.
correct.
Jerome. Jerome, that's that man. You got the post of the day, man. Thank you.
That's right. Israel runs them all. That's the Mossad. The Mossad. Jeffrey Epstein was working for the Mossad. That's why he could blackmail all these high profile people and get
Don't
information to bring back to
don't forget about the Netherlands now. Because a lot of these people traces back to the Netherlands.
the rabbit hole is very deep, guys.
The House of Orange. Why y'all think they got Donald Trump face orange? Go research that.
Looking like he's hair so yellow, look like he spent the night at R. Kelly house.
That's a screen. That is a what you call it. They put on his face. That man, it's not really orange, and nor is his
But
skin.
wait,
This
I
all
wanted to
ties
touch on
back. If y'all research the House of Orange, all this stuff ties back to the Netherlands.
Facts, goddess. She who walks among the men.
Israel, Judaism, all the way down to the ice capades.
I wanted to touch on the incident with the knowledge with about the Adderall because when my daughter was in my baby girl, she was like in the I want to say the second or third grade. I kept getting phone calls from the schoolhouse, now they're going west, and they finally called me in. I would go see what they were talking. They called me and my wife in, and I finally went to go see what they were talking about. They come in there and tell me my daughter had ADHD. Now we all know.
Oh, oh, let me break that
So
down for you. Let me break that
so
down for you.
wait, hold me down. Let me finish this right quick. I'll pass the mic to you. So we all know with a 4 or 5 year old child, they are really hyperactive. They're energized, you know. So they took that as and say she had ADHD. So they try to send me to my daughter, send my daughter to a therapist and all that stuff, and all kind of things they did with her. They prescribed some medicine for her, but my wife said, "Oh no, I'm not giving her this. I'm not giving because we looked up the medicine, and the side effects of the medicine it was not appropriate for an adult to take. You know, and so they expect for me to give this to a 4, 5 year old. And at the time, they was giving her medicine that was like 36 milligrams, and we're talking about a 4 or 5 year old. So that 36 milligrams is gonna take over her little body. And the side effects of the medicine, like Peter was saying earlier, where it was gonna take a long-term effect on her kidneys, her liver, and had her it would have had her thinking outside like thinking other places like weird and it could want to commit suicide and stuff like that. The medicine they were trying to give her. So I told them, and I went back to the school. I said, "Look, my daughter not taking this. Y'all can stop prescribing this for her. She's not going to no therapist or none of that because you're not gonna come and tell. I'm not gonna let a pale face come and tell me about my child, and you're
Shout
gonna
out,
Let
sit there
me
and
break.
shout
prescribe
out
some medicine for her."
to the truth searcher. Shout out to the truth searcher. Go ahead.
Let me break that down for y'all. ADD, attention deficit disorder. This is the Dr. Umar Johnson story. ADD, attention deficit disorder, was made up and created out of thin air by the American Psychiatric Association in 1980. Same year, The CIA drops off crack in our ethnical communities when the Black Panther movement was getting too strong. This psychological drug was used exclusively on 95% predominantly brown American boys in predominantly middle class white schools by predominantly middle class white women. But guess what? There's no drug that can make you pay attention. So 7 years later, in 1987, they shifted it and it went from attention deficit disorder to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Why did they add the H? They added the H because there's no drug that can make you pay attention. Ritalin can't make you pay attention. Adderall can't make you pay attention. Cyclop can't make you pay attention. Concerta can't make you pay attention. Metadate can't make you pay attention. Amoxicillin can't make you pay attention. Ibuprofen can't make you pay attention. No drug period can force you to sit down in class, learn about the white lash history of Christopher Columbus, Joseph Stalin, all the way up and down to Anne Frank. So they said, we're going to make all the predominantly melanated kids hyper because what else do the drugs do? Disrupt the conscious energetic thinking to destroy the conscious central nervous system. So if your kid and or kids is quote unquote not quote unquote paying attention and quote unquote blurting out answers, they still get labeled ADHD or ADD or both to justify the elitist $30 billion industry that is publicly induced on white lash Wall Street. There is no mental health in America. There's only mental hustling in America. They make up psychological pharma industry-based labels because the labels equal money. The labels equal stock return for the owners of this country. Here's a question I got for them. If drugs is bad and you locking up millions of our men for selling and or using crack to provide for their families, I also assume it's not good for kids either. So why is it you will lock a brown American man up 5, 15, 20 to 40 years for selling and or using crack to distribute and sell to provide for his family financially? But you'll take that same crack that you got him arrested for and give it to the son out here in the public schools of Albany High, New York City, and call that crack Ritalin, call that crack Adderall, call that crack Concerta, call that crack Cyclop, call that crack ibuprofen, call that crack amoxicillin, call that crack aminocinabile, and give it to the son of the daddy who got arrested for selling it so that his son can sit around being intentionally miseducated by lazy-ass, predominantly white teachers who don't give a damn about whether your kid learns their lives or not. Hence why Dr. Umar Johnson called the book Psychoacademic Holocaust. And what people don't understand about it is predominantly melanated parents still to this day don't want to freaking grasp the concept of when they call your kid, when they call our kids up at school, they're not going to tell you that Adderall is messing inside. One of the side effects is drowsiness, making them feel like they dazing out, not paying attention to class. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you this sucker skunk chump change shit. Well, we have some medicine for you. It has worked many wonders with other boys here in our schools. And guess what they do? Our melanated parents fall for it and give it to them because they think it's going to work, right? And it does. And then you wonder why your kid's all feeling all down, all drugged up like a freaking zombie. Your kid don't want to eat, losing too much weight, gaining too much weight. Then guess what? Then after that, the moment you realize it when it's almost too late most of the time, that's when you as the parent say, and or parents say, he ain't taking that no more. Then guess what the schools do? Child Protective Services, DHS. Yes, we would like to report a Leandre Jonathan Jackson. We found out he has been diagnosed with ADD, obedience conduct disorder, obedience behavioral disorder, and ADHD. And we found out today from him, because us as melanated parents don't teach our kids to keep their freaking mouth shut. We found out today from little Leandre that he has refused personally to take his medication for the past 2-3 weeks. This is an anonymous report. Next thing you know, they're knocking at our doors, investigating us firsthand before anybody else. They're going to investigate us and they're going to threaten us. Put him back on the drugs. If you don't put your son back on the drugs, we're taking Leandre. We're not just taking Leandre. We taking Lashina. We taking Lysandra. We taking all your kids because everybody in the chat, we know how that's how DHS do. They don't take us to one. They find you mentally unfit, period. And they take all your kids out of you out. It's called medical neglect. Everybody to know this. Medical neglect. Failure to give your children psychiatric, legalized, crooked drugs for a series of psychological diagnoses that aren't proven to exist. Did you know that you can't prove ADHD? Did you know that you can't prove ADD, obedience or obedience conduct slash obedience behavioral disorder? Here's what else you can't prove. You can't prove math and reading disabilities. Most predominantly brown American children in quote unquote special ed classes don't have math and reading disabilities. They got lazy disabilities. Their little asses is lazy. They don't want to learn a damn thing. They don't want to learn how to truly and mentally apply themselves. And they got parent and or parents sitting at home who are just as equally as lazy, falling for the same card as they are.
And the thing about it is, what they're teaching us is old German curriculum for retarded, blind, and deaf children. That's their curriculum that they're teaching our children here in the United States. And also, those medicines that they give you, once you sign that birth certificate, you have signed over your child to the state.
The Child Act. My father told me something about that. My father and a friend of his, a childhood uncle and heart of mine, told me about that. It was something called the something Child Act, where at birth, once you give the government to have permission over your kid to do whatever. Like say your kid gets in trouble at school for fighting and is wrong for defending himself because whoever attacked him first, he's wrong for fighting, and they tell him to go to the office and tell the principal. That other weak chunk change bull. And then all of a sudden they're gonna threaten to suspend your kid or expel your kid. I'd rather have my kid expelled and be free minded than to be kissing a oppressor ass and listening and be going to the principal and calling me talking about what am I supposed to do. I'm letting my son fight. That's what I'm doing. I'm letting my son fight in school. I don't care. You can expel him all he want. I'll go to another school. And I don't care if he get kicked out of that one.
That's why we not take our children out of their school system. Start getting doulas and midwives to have our babies at home or wherever we set up a facility to have our babies. Because once we take our children out of their system, our children do not have to answer to them. Our children is our property, and that's what we need to make known. That's
why a lot of people homeschool their children.
They're trying to stop the third eye from opening from our children and from us. And that's why they dumb you down with all these medications and stuff to keep you dumb. That's what's called freedom, to stay dumb. But they make
exactly
you free, but you're not. You're under a whole construct of government control.
And that's the sad part. Today's parents don't realize that. The other Umar story, he even had this as full proof. I was on the phone. He literally said this. And this actually happened. He was on the phone helping some parents out. First grader in quote unquote special ed, diagnosed at 6 years old. 6 years old. How to figure what you're gonna die a 6-year-old child with ADHD. It's X. And here's what he asked the parent. What made you decide to get your 6-year-old child evaluated by white people? Guess what she told me? The teacher thought, and at the same time, the teacher and school administration thought, what they ain't gonna tell you is that the teacher and the school administration thought it was a good idea. What did you think? You're his damn mother. Didn't you carry him? I honestly didn't think he really needed it, but the teacher and the school administrations thought it was a good. So do you see the
Let me
construct
tell you something,
problem?
brother. Well, Chief Welch. Let me tell you something. Much as I love Umar Johnson, I love the way he talks about when he talks about that as far as schools. If he
The
if he
little drug
wasn't so
part,
much if he wasn't so much a part of the Pan African that
Pan
bull that
African, it'd be different.
I can actually
It would
take
be
him
different
serious. It would be
if he
different.
wasn't
I can
part of the
take him
Pan
serious.
African.
Yeah, but my problem is him is he's using his work to scam the brothers and sisters out here. He tells good things. Don't get me wrong, and that's just goes to show you can learn from the devil too. You can learn from the devil. That's
Fact.
one thing I can tell
Mm-hmm.
you. You can learn from the devil. So he has great teaching, but he has used his platform to scam so many people who believed in him. Because I used to follow the brother until he started to get, he just was all consumed with money. Okay, and
Money
like
and Pan
and
African
pushing that
and the Pan
African
African theories.
and pushing that African BS on us. So I do agree with him when it comes down to school, and he's talking about special ed, and that what they're doing to the melanated boys. I definitely agree with him 100% because they tried to do it to me, and I stated this before. They tried to do it to me. They tried to put me in a system to where I could not develop. So we got to come together, melanated people. We got to come together because it's dangerous. They are reaching our youth. What you say about this empress?
What did you just say? I missed it because I'm at work, so I was doing something. So what happened?
Hey, go ahead on, Sister Sundown.
I was saying that, yeah, I invited Umar Johnson down. I sure did, and it was a free event. He was teaching about us educating our children. Look, you can learn from anybody. Chew the meat, spit out the bones, like Empress said. You can get
Mm.
information from anybody, but as long as you know who you are, nobody can touch you. No one.
That's
So
a
it's time
fact.
for us to start educating our own children, having our own babies, where they can't bring no damn birth certificate and tell you to sign it. Then the next 3 days, your child is on the stock market and your child is making them billions of dollars and you broke. That shit is over. It's time for us to wake up, know who we are, declare our nationality, reclaim it, put it on record. And I'm not telling you to beg them for anything. You telling them you're putting it on notice who you are. So they can't do nothing but respect that because that's who you are. You are the Aborigine, original, autochthon.
Yeah, we the indigenous.
You're flesh and blood. You're not no damn entity. So once you sign on to that birth certificate, that means that you have
You're the white man's property.
that exactly. There you go. And it's
You
not
the
just
white man's property.
we got to get out that color code because that's what it is. That's what they got us under, color codes. We got to get out of that. It's color codes that they're using to stifle all of us. And guess what? There are more white slaves than there are us. They came over here as the slaves. When they changed that 14th Amendment, everybody became a slave. We were Indians, not taxed, until we signed on and started having our babies in them hospitals and became a 14th Amendment slave.
Here's why I don't go to no hospital. My future kid, he ain't going to no hospital. I'm getting
Um,
natural herbs in every aspect I
so
could find.
a lot
Because
of,
when you go to them hospitals, they shoot us up with just anything.
and
They shoot us up with anything.
they try to take your babies, their mental capacity before they can even open their eyes. They try to take it. They give them vitamin K and all this shit. When your child's supposed to just be sucking milk, your child's supposed to be bringing out the colostrum in your milk. So that's starting your child to open up the mind to open up and everything else to be developed properly. So once they take you, they hurry up and jerk your baby off in that cold environment when your child's supposed to be nestled on your breast. You teaching your child how to suckle your breast to get all that colostrum so your child can start his healing through his mind and through his body and become that indigo child that he should be or she should be.
They take them off because they try to the disconnect. They start trying to disconnect you as soon as you come out the womb.
They
Exactly.
try to disconnect the children's the baby's genetics, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. I got a friend who I went to school with. They got her baby on the freaking, the little typical thing where they put them in a wrap. They put them in this look like it's a pan looking bowl where the baby sits in it, lays down in it once they first born, and they got all these the little IV thing in the nose and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh no. You then think, yeah, I'm automatically thinking they're gonna try to drug one of my friends' baby. That's one of my friends' own little baby. I'm like, my kid ain't going to no hospital. I'm sorry. When I started realizing about hospitals really wasn't helping you, they paying good, honest, hardworking, innocent people who love what they do to kill innocent people, and then all of a sudden some realize that they just don't say nothing about it. It's just like, whoa, I'm not going to a hospital no more. The last time I went to a hospital, I was 16 and had a stomach problem.
But
And I wondering why I'm all of a sudden sick. I came out sick.
I want to ask Sister Chief's son a question right quick. As Sister Empress, you can elaborate on this too. I want to ask both of y'all a question. I want to tap into the stars and concerns. But do you believe that we are going back to the republic, Sister Chiefess?
It's already that way because if you look at everything is shut down. If you go on the Treasury website, every seat is vacant. Every job is vacant. Maybe only two people, and that's maybe the lawyer and someone else. If you look at White House, it's completely shut down. It is that way now. We have to be capable of standing up and taking our rightful place. It's about us, guys. It's about us. Their lease is over. They had a lease. It's over. We have to realize it's about us. We have to start coming together now. Someone said about meeting up in California. We're going to meet up in Atlanta first. But we have to start now coming together. Our people
Mm-hmm.
charging all types of money to get our people straight and just come straight up and tell them what to do and stop all that shit about charging our people. Charging
Yep.
to become who they are, to reclaim their nationality. We need to stop that shit. If I can
That
help anybody, you email me, Chiefness Haishi, HVISHI at Gmail, and I'll help you out any way I can. We just
I'm
need
gonna
to come
I'm
together.
gonna inbox you my stuff today, Chief.
Okay, God,
For
shit.
my I want you to look at my tree
Uh,
and those patents.
She Who Walks Through the Mist found some great information about the patents. We need to start learning how to search for our patents because only we can own patents. Only we can. None of them can own that. None of them have
Mm-mm.
patents. If they do, they're taken from them. They
Mm-hmm.
expire. Ours never expire. It goes from air to air.
And they're
yeah,
not
because
heirs.
that's what I wanted to know. Because I've been doing the research on the situation that I was hearing about it, and I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Nobody didn't ever tell me about this part of the game here, so I started
They,
doing my own homework.
yes, they're not going to inform you. But if you look
And I
at
was like,
everything, it's shut down. Everything is shut down.
that's
We
what
have
made me. That's what made me. That's what right. That part right there. What made me go, what the hell? Because this is how can a whole government, a whole section of the government, just all be vacancy? Like, what's going on?
you have to
What's the
realize they're
backstory?
not a government, they're a corporation.
That
They are a
That's how the
corporation.
United States is. The United States is a corporation.
That's right. The United
Yep.
States of America is a corporation.
They were just using us to pay off their debt. That's all they're using you for. You're not a
Exactly.
part
but
of
your
them.
Social Security
Because
number tells
all
you how
we
much
is
you
is a
was worth.
statistical paycheck to them, afterthought wise.
Yeah, because
Facts. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're
they was
worth
telling our
trillions, young brother. Some people, like they say, this person is worth billions, you're worth trillions.
Yeah, because
These
they was
people,
telling you, they was
And
telling
they
your
take
ass
our
to
organs out.
go
That's
home.
multi-trillions of dollars.
And our
That's
melanated
multi-trillions of dollars. They
$74 an
take
ounce.
our organs because they trying to live long as we should think they gonna live. I'm like,
Not
that's
only
our
that,
stuff.
melanin is worth $374 per ounce. Do you know that's like the tip of your fingernail? See your
hmm
see your
Mm,
see your skull.
mm.
They take off a
I did
piece.
not know that.
Yes,
yep.
$374 per ounce.
Oh
Oh
my God. So every ounce of blood we got, we
yes,
were a million. We were trillions.
please
Why
let
you think they? Why you think they begging you to go donate your blood? And they gonna pay
cheap.
you a funky. They gonna pay you a funky $50 to donate your plasma, and then go turn around and charge you thousands of dollars to get the goddamn plasma back in your body if you
Facts.
need it.
Cheap,
Exactly.
hmm
Hence
cheap.
why I'm glad I
Y'all
never
need to,
donated blood back in high school.
y'all
Cheap.
need to understand.
Can you
Did
Yeah.
hear?
that and never took flu shots neither.
Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead,
Oh,
Chief.
she who walks through the mist is trying to get on the panel. I'm with you. I'm with you, True Searcher. We gonna work together because we in Louisiana and we trying to get it together with our people in Mississippi because we are the same. The Louisiana Choctaws left from Mississippi.
Go ahead, and drop the link, Indigenous Warrior.
I'm with you, Truth Searcher.
What y'all need to understand, this is not no government, first of all. This is a mafia. Quit calling them the government. They are the
A
mafia.
mafia, an elitist two-party, systematic,
hmm
snake-headed. I I forgot. Staff of Hermes mafia. That's what this
hmm
is. Staff
See,
of Hermes,
this
two
is
crooked
why
claw
they,
snakes.
this is why they
Indigenous
always
Warrior,
talking about,
504. I need you to drop the link.
All right,
this is why
I
they
got you, homie.
always
I got you,
going out
brother.
here talking about they trying to stop the mafia. No, they trying to stop the small mafia because they don't want the small mafia to get up to where that are the original mafia.
Which is the Mossad and the
Yes.
bankers. That's
The Israelis and the white Jewish,
that
also part of it too.
China from
I'm
The
I'm
elitist white
telling y'all,
Jewish.
once y'all start really, really researching the House of Orange, y'all will see where all this stuff came from.
You'll see where all the banker owner families came from too.
yes.
Bilderbergs, Rothschilds, the Freemans, the
A,
Lees, the Osanis, all those guys.
a good
All their families came from is between Israeli and Jerusalem. All them families in the Netherlands.
a
Them the
good
only three places all them families came through.
a good video to watch is the sequel to
The the
the
cabal.
the Cabal, the Fall of the Cabal. The sequel is 7 through 16, but I think you could only get 1 through 6 to watch. And I'm telling you, it's telling you such great information of exactly who's in control of everything. We have to know that now so we can get their ass out of here.
But you know, I always say that the people at the top, they don't look like us, y'all, and they don't look like the
Exactly.
president, and they
And
don't look
one of
like the
them had
president
died.
either. When I
And one
tell
of
you
them
that,
died. David Rockefeller.
Yeah.
David
when
Rockefeller
yes,
had died. And
these
most
people are
people don't
not what
realize
you.
about.
We're not humans, so we know that means monster. But them, they're not
Hence
even
why they
that.
call us Aboriginal.
Yeah, they're not even humans.
They just consider us not human because of the things we can do.
No. We're supposed to be mankind. We are copper-based beings. We're
That's
beings.
why
We're
they keep.
not. We're not. We're not none of that. That they tell you that we're not none of
We
that.
got somebody new
They
just
call
started.
us unreal.
Talk, go ahead.
Power to the God.
Power to the who's up here now? Power. A salute. I don't know who
Peace.
that is.
How everybody doing? Love and respect to everybody.
Peace and
Peace
love.
and respect.
Hello.
Yeah,
Honor and respect.
I'm Leonardo. I came to build, not bring drama. I come
That's
in peace and love.
That's the way it's
Okay.
supposed to be.
Yes. High vibes. He who walks amongst the midst. High vibes. Sis.
Power to the goddess, chiefess.
Grand Rising family, I'm trying to get these children quiet, so I'm gonna put myself on mute until I do that. But I do want to add on, so I'm gonna put myself on mute until I get
Okay.
them quiet.
Okay. The brother that was he just
Nigel,
got.
I need you in the chat for a second. I got some new people coming on.
Uh,
Nigel Welch, could you get in the chat for a second?
Salute, truth. Salute. Hey, my brother.
Man, what's up, Auntie? Man,
Power to
salute
the
to the
goddess.
All right,
goddess.
Power
peace
to
to the
the
chat. Peace to the chat.
Man, what's going
I
on? Yeah,
know. I know you know about the House of Orange.
yeah. Yeah. When you said that, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's crazy because, like, I was just going over the Dutch invasion of England, which started with William from the House of Orange. We pay attention a lot to like the western shore of Europe, but them Dutch motherfuckers was some ruthless motherfuckers.
Oh, were they?
Yeah,
Yes.
they was very ruthless. I think a lot of the fuck shit came from them too. Well, it really came from all of them, but when Hobart said that shit, I was just like, oh, I was just like literally going over. I just, tell people to look into William from the House of Orange, and you could go from there and connect the dots and like who he connected to. Cause like Wikipedia, the only thing like I kind of like use that for is like for a rough summary and try to see what sources they got in there. But you can actually click back to like who their father was or siblings was and shit. And then, I started looking to see what they had going on and shit. Man, and everyone that's tied to him, like, man, like they was real ruthless. They was actually in conjunction with the Barbary coast of North Africa of raiding Europe for slaves and shit. It was actually a bunch of disgruntled Dutchmen and Portuguese that was pissed off about I guess they position in Europe at the time as it was changing. So like how we always say, like we see the bullshit they saying. They had too much going on in their own house at the time to be doing some of the things they did. But speaking as far as like down south, one thing that I always knew was like you are what your mother is, the importance of that. How they tried to change the laws so they could say you are who your father is, because sometimes like uh you you know sometimes some of the general, I'll say the males of these foreigners who we was dealing with on like trade wise and shit, like the connections got so close and they was actually trying to be manipulative to try to be part of the family, to have a say over the land in the family, and also to get they self attached to them land patterns when they finally copped up the scheme to start doing land separation based off land patterns and shit. And all that ties around each other. That's why it's so important to know who you are through your mother's side. Like, yeah, it's important to know who you are through your father's side, but know who his mother is, so you know who your father is. I'm gonna mute my mic though. Y'all was going in, man. I've been on the road. I pulled off just to jump up here and rap
No,
with y'all.
yeah, your show be. I mean, I love tuning into your show. It I don't know why I don't get the message that is coming on, but I'm glad that I definitely subscribe because you be facting. I'm ready
Mm-hmm.
to build because we need to start doing some building with our people. We need to start
Yep.
getting our land back. We need to start really putting our foot down with each other and not talking and just start doing it. You were right. I really respect your
Facts.
words, what you be saying, true. Definitely.
Man,
Yep.
I appreciate that because I be looking to y'all for wisdom because, I mean, I'll be honest, once y'all set the tone is set, and that's the tone we need to be on. Like, y'all bring this wisdom in of uniting and this understanding about, all this bickering and shit. Like, we got to get past that shit. Like, cause I was telling somebody the other day that I kind of was getting a little frustrated a little bit because I was trying to figure out what's the real argument is. Is it we the whole world that's at the bottom echelons, not only us but the rest of the world, we all know that this system is really the problem. But it be times that when we get to talking with our family about, what we're going to do as far as the system go, which honestly we need to, in my opinion, I think the only way that it will be all the way 100 is getting the fuck up out of it. But sometimes I think that it really ain't the system that be a problem with some people. It really be their position in the system. And if that's their case, like I don't get in people personal business like that, because that's like a personal problem. I'm more towards the trying to see how we could put ourselves in a position where, yeah, we know the system control everything, but let's have our interaction with the system as less as possible. Especially when it comes to like major things like feeding and clothing and sheltering each other. Everything else, we can figure out along the way to make sure that we do it in a way that, we don't get caught back up in these contracts and loopholes and shit like that. But those three things right there, I think we need to take that out the hand of the system, because as long as we keep it in the system, they always gonna have that upper hand on us. And I think that's one thing that keep us divided too, because a lot of our people, we need to figure out a way to be able to feed, clothe, and shelter our people, because that's the only way we can be able to get them to wake up and get the fuck up out of it and shit.
That's right. That's a true fact, God.
I'm gonna speak on that, brother, because I was listening to you the other day. I want to say it was Tuesday, and I couldn't go to sleep. And I was like, let me see who's on. And you was on live. And I was like, that's my West Coast brother right there. We on the same vibration. Because I was
Mhm.
feeling you. I was feeling everything you were saying. It's like, okay, how much longer are we going to keep bickering over historical truths when, certain historical truths don't apply to certain people? And, everyone tries to make it seem like it's just this one, uh, all one size fits all narrative. It's not. Some people did come from Africa. Some people was been here, always been here, and they never left here. Some folks is mixed with, Europeans. You got the European royalty that came over here. So it's like, at the end of the day, all of this information is bringing us to where we're going to have to work together in the now. Not operating in this system as an individual will get your ass kicked. That's why a lot of these people who are making these moves, they do it through unity of a corporation. So you have groups like Blackwater. If you look at Blackwater stock, it's traded at like almost $800 a share. And it's a group of people investing and moving together. They're buying land and they're pooling their assets and they're making moves. And we could do the same thing. That's why I always tell people the best paperwork that you could produce to get out your situation is your business plan. What is your business plan? What is your goal? Is it to, produce food? Well, let's
That's
talk about
right.
agriculture. Let's talk about real autogenous living, because autogenous and
All
aborigines
righty.
knew how to live off the land.
Well, I
So
get
we're gonna
that up.
so we
I'm
have to
sorry.
no, you're good, goddess. We have to get to that point of where we saying, you know what? All the history is great, but we still don't control our own survival for 72 hours. Somebody else does. We don't produce our own energy. We need brothers who can contract, who know how to build solar, who
Facts.
know how to dig wells, who know how to take a container, one of them shipping containers, cut that bitch up, weld it together, and make a home. Because we got a lot of people with skills that can train brothers that don't have the skill. We just have to bring them together in a uniform fashion. I think it's going to be done at the powwow, to be honest. Um, we also have the land patents. A lot of people are finding out that they have land patents, you know, connecting with other brothers and sisters in the same area who have land patents. Now we have, access to our land again. And we could protect our land again because you're not out there by yourself. We need security. We need brothers and sisters who are warriors, who
That's a
know how to
fact.
shoot, and
Yes.
Cause
who could
I'ma
train
tell
other
y'all,
people.
I'm gonna tell y'all when the shit really hit the fan and these people find out we are the original owners of this shit. You know all these old skinheads and KKK finna be angry.
They're gonna lose their mind.
Yes, because we want them up out of here. I don't care how they get out of here. We want them up out of here. Now the ones is willing to stay here and be peaceful, and as soon we're gonna have laws passed. Soon we see you on that fuck shit, we shipping you out of here.
I
Hmm.
always tell these folks who think they gotta want to have an attitude with me. I let them know real quick. Would you like to get deported back to your country?
That
Don't fuck
part.
with me.
That's
Exactly.
crazy. That's crazy
That's
you
a
said that
fact.
because I had that issue last night. Cause like I ain't head to Chicago yet. I'm leaving from Northern Cal to go to Chicago, and up here in Northern Cal, this where you got them so-called Indians at and shit, and
Mm-hmm.
they be bumping heads with these white motherfuckers out here and shit too. And I was kind of talking to one of them yesterday. He kind of like he asked me. He just seen me. He was like, "Oh, he's like you from Happy Camp?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm from Mississippi." Because I already know what Happy Camp is. Happy Camp is the so-called Karuk Indian tribe. I'm like, "Nah, I'm from Mississippi." I was like, "I don't subscribe to that shit." You feel me? He was like, "Oh, what you mean,
Mm.
brother?" I'm like, "Nah, I just don't subscribe to that shit. Y'all understanding of indigenous living is different from mine and shit. Like, oh, we all brothers." I'm like, "Yeah, we all humans and shit, but we ain't family." And he felt some
That
type of way.
part.
He felt some type of way about that shit, but I just had to explain to him. I just had to let him know. I'm like, "Look, bro, it ain't no disrespect." I'm like, "But look, it's a bunch of motherfuckers that look like you and that look like him." And I pointed to the white dude that said they from Mississippi and Louisiana, Arkansas. And I never seen nobody that looked like you there. I have seen people that look like him there, but they white. So how all of a sudden I come out here now y'all Indians? Like I don't understand that. So and the way that y'all deal with this government system, we don't like I ain't gonna lie, like they be beating their ass like real shit, like straight like taking their shit and all that. Like yeah, our shit get taken, but they don't take our shit like that because they know the difference. They can do with them like that because they know deep down inside that they ass is really foreigners, that they not really from here. And and that's the thing. It's time for us to just start stepping up and laying claim to who the fuck we is and what we is. Just like
Mm-hmm.
the main reason, like I was telling Chief Tess when I get down to Mississippi, I want to link up with her because when I go to Chicago, like these everything that I know is what I've been told by my family. Now I got an auntie that got all the records that I never seen. I keep it honest, other than what she done sent me through messages and shit. But I told her I need to sit down and really look at them. So I'm finna go through and look at strictly off my great grandmother's side. That's it. Not no marriage in or none of that shit. Just strictly my strictly bloodline. And get these names and shit because I'm pretty sure even though my family down south got land that's outside of the system, I'm pretty sure that it's more land that we don't fucking know about. And I want that shit.
Exactly.
I want that shit. You feel me? Just being
That's
honest, because
how I feel.
You got to
even
find your ancestor who dates back into the 1800s, anywhere from 1837, because that's when the land patents started. Well, they started before then, but they was going into the GLO system, GLO, around 1837, all the way up into the 1900s, early 1900s. So if you can
So
find that ancestor that lived in that area, then you can go directly to the website and see if you can find that ancestor's name. It'll tell you exactly where the land was.
but what if you
you
got these pale skins all over over your stuff?
You better claim it. They
right.
they, they came in your world. You ain't coming theirs.
And
There is a
one
there's a
thing else that I
non-controversial. Oh, go ahead, brother.
no, you good. Go ahead. I'll catch it after you.
I was gonna say there is a non-controversial way that you could go about things, and there's a controversial way. The
Mm-hmm.
controversial way would be to serve they ass some damn notices and tell them to get the fuck off your land or pay you some taxes. Now, some folks ain't about that life. The
I'm about that.
non-controversial
I'm about that life.
The non-controversial way is to look within the land boundaries and see if there is anything that is bank owned because banks cannot own any property.
Nothing.
So if there's
Nothing.
anything that's bank owned or what we call REO, then you can actually go ahead and just claim that land, claim that property, claim that parcel number, and take it from the bank into your possession, because now you're not fighting with somebody else. You're fighting with the bank, who really ain't got no entity to really fight. Like, they just
Mhm.
there to do administrative work. So it's
Yeah.
not about moving somebody off of their property, well, off of your property. It's about just claiming something that's not even being claimed.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm trying to be careful of myself is that I don't want to lay claim on some shit that I think is my family and it turned out not to be. Because, like, even looking back in the records, you realize that a lot of these names, first and last, was common like a motherfucker. Like, all in the same year, everything, So I want to be able to make sure that the name that I'm running across with these patents, because one of the
Belong to your
sisters,
family.
yeah, it belonged to my family. Because I feel like if I fuck around and file it, and it turned out that this was just a motherfucker who had a name like one of my family members, it turned out not to be my family. I feel like they're gonna have a radar on me, and they're gonna be trying to block me every step of the way. So I'm trying to catch them with their pants down. Because
You
one thing
could
I know
compare
about,
it.
And
You can
another
compare
thing,
it to the historical maps, though, brother, because it'll show you in some of the historical maps, it'll say specifically Choctaw Indian Territory. Well, in
right.
that historical map, since it says that there and your land patent falls in that area, damn right it's yours.
and
And another
something
thing,
else.
they didn't have patents, God. They didn't have any kind of patents. What they had is land
Deed.
grants. Land grants. That's
Hmm.
what
Right.
they got when they came over here. Land grants. We have the patents, and you're going to be able to, because it's going to trace back. Like my great 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 aunt Louisiana, her mother is on the patent. Her brothers is on the patent. So there's no way of mistaking that's someone else's patent. It's gonna come to you. I'm telling you, it's gonna like flow like the water once it comes to you. They can't
And
own.
and I think that my great grandmother was kind of like tied to like some to a name that's well known in the Mississippi area. Because from the stories that I get, right, like on her live certificate of birth, right, there is no name for mother and father on it. All right.
I
Uh,
noticed it too.
but when it's on a birth certificate, it has a they say Negro, but you know how that go. Name last name Braggs. But from my understanding is that my great grandmother had an older sister that was had her about like 10 years. They got shipped to the Carlisle boarding school, right? Her sister snatched up and they ran away. When they came back, their parents weren't around no more, and the family took them in so that they wouldn't be considered as orphan and shit. And it was a family within our region of where our family is from. They took them in so they wouldn't be considered as orphans and shit like that. Because to be an orphan was like coming over here as indentured servant without a contract. That was a fucked up ass situation to be in, and they wanted to make sure that they didn't get snatched back up or no shit like that or sent the fuck off. So it's all about like I say, my auntie got the records because my great grandmother left it to her, because my great grandmother raised her, my mother, and my mother's oldest brother, which is my uncle. My grandmother moved to Chicago, but they stayed. Uh, and my mom and my uncle left before her, but when my great grandmother died in '83, she left the records to my grandmother's sister, and she left it to her daughter. So I've been in contact with her on a regular. She been sending me stuff here and there, and I just basically told her I need to really get down and really dig up in it and shit. So I can really
Hmm. I feel the same way you feel.
Yes, it's our time now to come together. Stop all this bickering. Do what we have to do. The matriarchs are doing it,
Yeah,
but
we are.
I want for the gods to do it. I want our gods to stand by our side and be the warriors I know they are.
And see, we need these gangs. They all want to kill up something. We need them to build and to become an army. The army. That's what we need. I'm gonna
y'all
tell you straight
sisters
out.
Building very good. I was just over here listening, and y'all dropping bombs. Like I'm born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I moved to Georgia because I wanted better for my family and for my daughter. I got a 4-year-old daughter, and basically, I'm a disabled vet. I got hurt serving this country. I've been 100% disabled vet for the last 27 years. I basically
Come in.
have real estate in
She just
Philadelphia.
went in her room. She just finished eating. She went in there. She said she was gonna lay down. That diva trying to go to bed. Y'all got to move at 2 o'clock. I'm sorry. I'm at work. Go ahead.
It's no problem, no problem. But like I said, I'm from Philadelphia. I moved to Georgia. I bought 6 acres of land for myself, but my family, my mother was born here. My mother would be 85 in April. She was born in Georgia, and my family is sitting on 100 acres of land that they own, that the police cannot drive through unless they're called. So I feel everything y'all saying, and I'm for the and betterment of my people. I love my people. It's just sometimes I think my people don't love themselves.
Facts.
But y'all was talking on some excellent points, and I was just being quiet, and I just wanted to intervene for a second because I love what y'all was talking about.
Now, okay, brother, and it's good to know that your family has acreage out there because when we need to get together and do a powwow, we're gonna need somewhere in that and near Georgia because we're about to get something together so our people can come together and start helping. Have you did the DD 214 form yet to get your payments? Are you getting paid for if you don't mind me asking?
I've been
Or,
100. I've been 100% disabled veteran for the last 27 years.
right, right.
Basically, I retired at. I worked for the postal service for 15 years. I basically retired from them and got my 100%. So basically, the system has been paying me almost $6,000 a year for the last 27, 28
Oh
years, and
yeah.
and I have my own real estate business, and I'm LLC.
Oh,
So
we
the
gotta
system,
link up, brother. We
yeah,
definitely
I
Yeah,
have
hate to
to
say
link
it, the
up.
yes,
system has been
people
good to
walk
me,
through this.
but I had to do a lot of work to reassure my future and my family's future.
Facts. I
You know what
understand.
I mean? And I always come in
Deserve
peace
it. You
and
work
love.
for it. You deserve everything. You served your country because this is your country,
Yes.
and you work for the postal service, whose money is backed by gold. So you should be protected. You should be
Yeah.
getting more than that. If
I
I
just
mean,
try to I just try to wake my people up because like a lot of them ain't living like I'm living, and I don't glorify it, but like I know the system is evil.
yes,
I mean, I know government and religion is connected. They're
truth,
one.
truth say he's in the back. Chief Nola, somebody let him in. Chief Peanut. Truth say he's in the back.
But yes,
Brother,
I'm
we have to work together on that because I'm a real estate person as well, and I'm licensed out here in Nevada, but I have a sister that handles transactions for me in Georgia, and I would love to network with you, because it's big. We have to be able to access the land. Um, we should not be renting in 2021 at all. you know,
facts.
whether you going about it through a land patent or you going about it through getting an investment property because it's bank owned or REO or whatever, we need to be doing these things, getting our LLCs. There's all kind of USDA grants that you can get to
Uh,
um,
I'm
start
ready.
growing stuff on your land. We have a team of matriarchs that are really working hard to empower our brothers and sisters. And so you are already ahead of the curve because you already have done these things. And so we definitely would like to network with you, brother.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be my pleasure. That's why
I'm
let people know I come here in peace. Love. I ain't trying to come up here and disrespect nobody, argue with nobody about somebody else's stuff. You know what I mean? This system. You know what I mean? I opened my mind up and seen what's really going on with this system, and I don't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? I lost. I say it like this real quick. I lost a 3-year old to vaccines, and it woke me up to the evilness of vaccines and their medicine. So that was my rude awakening, burying my 3-year old daughter, cause me and her wife allowed her to get that injection in her, and they didn't want to be accountable for it. So that's what woke me up to the evilness of this system.
Condolences, brother.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Is 111 still in the building?
I think Chief Sunhouse said he was in the bed.
I'm
I'm
looking on.
having technical difficulties in the area because of whatever. If you guys can hear me, you guys are doing an excellent job. I've just been having. I'm a truck driver, so having technical difficulties with audio.
Say hello.
Hello, that's your baby.
That's my daughter.
Halito, beautiful.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes.
Feathers up, little one.
Halito.
Halito. I would go
That
get one of my babies on, but they'll take over the whole call.
See, I work with that's a field. I've been in this field almost 30 years. I work with the mentally challenged. I work with kids with autism. I it's been my field for the last 30 years. So yeah, and that's why I tell people don't give your children these shots. I've literally they had discussion with people about these shots, and these people don't even care to be so. They don't even research it. They just want to argue with you because they feel like you telling me something, and the government telling me something different. You don't know no more than you don't know nothing. The government knows everything. That's the mindset our people have.
and that's why I always tell people, government and religion is one now. They just can't see
Yes,
it.
it
When
is. It
when
is.
their government told them, when their God told them to put on a mask, that's what they did. They didn't do no
Right,
research
The
about what was
government
going
is
on.
their
They
God.
just put on a mask.
The government is their God. They don't even
That's
know
what
it.
I'm saying.
But it's
And
been
they
that
don't.
way. It's been that way. It's been that way.
Always
A
been
lot of
that
us don't
way.
understand. It's been that way. It's been that
It's
way since we
always been
allowed them to take over our. That this system has been
our
corrupt for
land.
years.
People want to say it ain't the system. It's not the system is broken. It's the people that's running. No, no, no. This system need to be towed down, and we need to build a system that is for the people. This system wasn't for the people. This system was built for the corporation.
And can
And
I
you are
say this
definitely
real quick?
correct.
and that's a fact.
I don't believe us as black people are part of the Constitution because we wasn't a part of it from the beginning. The
No,
the
we
the,
wrote that for them.
Well, yeah, we
the
were
13th and
the
the 14th did not
1871
give it.
Constitution. No, that's what the corporation did. The 1871, but the one in
Hmm.
1776, we wrote that Constitution
Yeah,
For
we did.
them.
for them. That's
I
right.
got you.
That's why they always say, remember the word is amendment. When they start talking about amendment, they talking about doing something to the organic constitution. That's what they talking about.
Pipe 'em, uh,
I
pop him
love
in
that.
when you're ready. Brother Truth, say pop him in when you're ready, Chief Nolan.
I think he said he's having problem. Yeah, he said he's there. What if you breaking up?
You breaking up? That's probably because you're driving. Yeah.
And that's probably why you ain't able to get him in. Is because you
Yeah,
breaking up. You're not in a.
um, I'm gonna cut it.
I can't. We didn't hear nothing. He said it kicked him out, y'all.
He probably have to
But
stop the show because he's driving
hmm
and he's not going to be able to respond or let people in like he's
I
supposed.
tell y'all what. Today I get off at 7. If y'all want to continue this bill, Chief Son out. Y'all know I'll be at home. and I get off at 7, so
We
we
might
can
have
do a.
we might have
Oh,
to do that, goddess.
okay. We can do a couple of hours or an hour. It's all up to y'all. Just let me know.
All right, sounds good. You have a masterful day, like Nana Woo Woo would say.
Yes.
Out in the chat, y'all, some brilliant, smart, intelligent gods and goddesses. And we love y'all
Yes.
all. That's what we need to get back to the love and not the hate. My goddess, my spiritual guide, she who walks through the mist. You are an amazing force. So are you, Empress. So are you, brother.
Thank you.
So when we
Thank
Thank
do
you,
you.
this,
Chief.
when we do this around Empress's birthday, we gotta all come together because that's gonna be some solution talking.
Yes, exactly what we're looking for. And like she who walks among the mist, yes, it's time for us to start our own businesses and getting back to the land. We shouldn't be paying rent on our own land.
Not at all.
Facts.
Not at all. We should all own everything, and we do. So now we need to just step up and reclaim.
Yep. I listen to my mom like when we go out there where my granddaddy and them said they used to own land at, and they these big old y'all mansions are sitting out that way. And my mama be like, they out here living on our land and we struggling. It make me now when you said, unless you really want to be gangster about it, y'all want to be gangster about it. Because we shouldn't be sitting here struggling on our own land.
Facts.
These people are living a good life.
Facts. Facts, goddess. You're absolutely correct, Empress. Well, I love you guys, and
I love you too.
we're
Yeah.
gonna continue where we need to continue and do what
Okay.
we're supposed to do. Peace to the
Oh,
guys.
I'm
Much
gonna, I'm gonna
respect.
call you
Y'all.
in a minute, Chief. I'm gonna call y'all in a minute.
All
Much
right, guys.
Peace,
y'all
peace
goddesses.
and love. To everyone in the chat. Peace and love. She who walks amongst the midst. And what's your name, sir?
Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Peace to the brother
Peace and love.
Leonardo.
Yeah, much
Um,
Peace.
I don't know if you see my number in the chat and my email, but please feel free to get my email and any kind of things you need with genealogy. I'll be happy to help you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty.
Peace and love, everyone.
Peace and love.
Hey, sis, Firewater. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.